Welcome back to the Pod of Greed.
Welcome back, indeed, to another week of the only podcast
on the internet.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday morning.
Wednesday for us.
And today we actually have a pretty big news story. This new ban list in town.
Yeah, that was a big list. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got that to talk about. We've got a Nintendo Direct that happened, so we're going to be recapping it.
We saw a movie last weekend too.
Yeah, a very small niche anime called Demon Slayer.
It's like an art film, really.
And of course, we'll have some viewer questions, along with a few other stories sprinkled in between.
But before we get to that, put your ones up.
Yes, in the premiere, if you are watching live as this is broadcasting on YouTube. And if not, that's okay too.
Leave a comment.
You can still leave a comment. You can still thumbs up the video. If you're just listening on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to your podcasts, then a 5-star review certainly is appreciated as well. So,
kick us off.
We got to talk about this new Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. Now, obviously, this came out like on, Friday or something? So it was right after the pod.
This is not news to any of you guys. And if it is news, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, we might be someone's literal only source of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, we are the only podcast
that's
on
true.
the internet. So
I did read a comment the other day where someone was like, and it was like a good comment, but someone was just like, yeah, I literally don't tune into any Yu-Gi-Oh things besides this podcast. And they were complimenting us because they were like, because they weren't looking to us for news. They were just saying yeah, it's really chill. I like the vibe. It's oh, that's really nice. But I just thought it was kind of interesting because it's man, what if someone they found out about the ban list through this podcast? What? There's a new ban list.
I'm glad we don't trade in misinformation. We can have somebody believing the wrong thing.
Yeah, we just saw a completely wrong list.
So guys, the new Yu-Gi-Oh set, Paradise Smashers, comes out in 3 weeks. Just making things up.
So we got to talk about this list. Because it's one of the bigger ones. It is effective as of just this past week, and
it feels more effective than a lot of our last few ban lists.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. Although I have to say, I feel like the last several ban lists have actually been large in terms of number. There's a lot of cards on them. The April one was, the December one was.
But have any of them hit cards that hit strategies that release so soon?
Yeah, that's kind of the trend here, is that we're in a weird spot with Yu-Gi-Oh, just to give a little background, where the Justice Hunters format has really only been around for about a month or so, a month and a half now, and people have been really enjoying it. And most people actually feel the format was pretty balanced.
One person told me they were tired of the format. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess there's a few people who probably hate it.
That took no time.
But it was generally well received. And so it kind of seemed strange. Okay, what's Konami going to do on this ban list? Because these new decks that are dominating are so new that it feels like they probably aren't going to really be getting hit. You don't expect any Justice Hunters cards to get hit. And that was the case. There were no new cards in Justice Hunters that got hit.
Because they did hit cards in Justice Hunters.
Strategies in Justice Hunters that might have been affected pretty heavily by this list.
Reprints were hit.
Yeah. And also there still kind of was the usual, filtering out of the stragglers.
Oh, yeah.
Your Malice, your Ryziel kind of just getting, get out already.
Bop them up real good. Which still, at least for me, that still feels a little fast. I don't know why, but for me, it feels like Ryziel and Malice hadn't been here for that long.
Yeah, I guess you haven't maybe been as involved.
I wasn't really playing, that's true.
Yeah, although you've been playing recently. You got a story about that.
That's true. I have been playing.
We'll get there. So let's start with the forbidden cards. There are 4 new cards that are banned. Moon of the Closed Heaven, Splash Mage, King of the Feral Imps,
solid hit,
and number 67 Paradise Smasher.
No notes.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints here, but I guess to just quickly go through them. Moon of the Closed Heaven was definitely good. That card is basically
enabled any old combo deck to go into a Fiendsmith engine. Right.
It was kind of the new age Nightmare Mermaid type of card. You kind of turn any 2 monsters into a full it was an Orcus combo back then, but yeah, into a full Fiendsmith combo. And I think that the absence of this card means that Fiendsmith as an engine will no longer be in every single thing. Now, it already was it was kind of getting a little less popular because of the Justice Hunters decks. None of them typically use it.
But now you actually have to have your own Light Fiend. You got to supply your own now.
Yeah, bring your own Fiend. BYOF. or something. I don't know.
BYOLF, because that'd be a light fiend.
Yeah, that's true. Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Yeah, but I don't like Moon of the Closed Heaven. I honestly wish that Master Duel would follow suit. They won't, but they never do.
They'll just put it to 1. No big deal.
But yeah, so Splash Mage. Also, this is a hit that I will celebrate. I will cheer it to the rooftops for any Cyberse hits.
Splash Mage, I remember when the card came out, did not think anything of it. My God, what did it end up being? One of the most annoying Cyberse cards ever printed. And that's saying a lot.
It's really, somebody at Locals was actually talking about this, and I agreed with them. It's kind of part of that trend of cards where, like, you summon it, and then it just resummons, like, its material or something.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cards like that, like, was the Excel Stardust Dragon, and, like, a lot of archetypes will kind of have something where, like, when it's synchro summoned, you summon back, like, one of the materials or whatever, when the fusions. I don't care for them, really, so, but Splash Mage in particular was, like, just such a boon in Malice.
There were a couple times, because, I've playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the last few years, I just hated, I would do my absolute damnedest to slow a Cyberse deck down.
And they keep pushing.
And then they got into that Splash Mage, and nothing mattered.
Yeah, they keep pushing, like, and, Cyberse, if anybody who, like, watches or listens to Joshua Schmidt, I know he's like me, he hates Cyberse, like, as a just concept, really. They just keep summoning. That's the deck's whole thing. They keep summoning. You can hand trap them all you want. They will keep pushing. And Splash Mage is a really big part of that. So I'm glad to see it go. It's 2 Link Monsters down. Link Monsters stay getting hit on the ban list.
Yeah, no extra deck mechanic has been hit more.
Yeah. But there are 2 Xyzs in this one as well. King of the Feral Imps, which this was a sort of bridge
That's into Mitsurugi.
for Raziel to get into Mitsurugi. People thought that they were going to hit Mitsurugi directly. They did not. But King of the Feral Imps made the Raziel Mitsurugi deck flow like butter. And now it's gone. And I think that is a little annoying.
Because, like, it's good on one hand, but it's a shame because Reptile decks didn't have a lot.
They really don't. They really don't.
King of the Feral Imps at one point was all they had.
Yeah, and that kind of brings you to that whole, like...
Searching Kage
Kage.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, it's funny because when you read King of the Feral Imps, it's like Gear Gigant X and Flame Banshee and all these cards where, like, what is it, Gallant Granite?
Yep.
They're a rank form that, like, searches a type or whatever.
Just a type.
And
they're not great, but...
And a type that is historically quite weak. So it's a shame that, King of the Feral Imps has to sort of take the fall for this because, man, like, sorry to the Ogdoadic players or sorry to, like, the Alien players or whatever.
Well, I don't know. If you're playing an Alien
all
deck,
12 of them,
you kind of deserve that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But, yeah, so this cuts that deck's bridge. Technically, they could still run the Mitsurugi cards, but this just ensures that they will not be able to, like, effortlessly make it happen.
Right.
And then finally, number 67, Paradise Smasher. So this was the rank 5 that was causing a lot of problems. It can effectively turn skip you.
I didn't realize how badly people were looking forward to using Paradise Smasher. When K9 first came out, people were like, "Oh, I can run Paradise Smasher," and I was like, "We really think of this card?"
Yeah,
but then it showed up. And it's a menace. The card's so strong.
It's kind of an interesting card to me because, truthfully, there are times when, like, you almost feel like you don't need to use it, really. Like, if your deck is going first, you can usually, set up a board and be fine. But what Paradise Smasher, at least in my experience, allowed was for decks to skip bad matchups. Because, like, if I can just make a Paradise Smasher and quite literally lock you out of, like, using anything for your turn, then that will be an instant win for me.
Right.
And it's not very fair. And K9 made a lot of use of this card. The K9 Vanquish Soul deck, or really just the K9 Crystron deck could use it as well.
There's just no pushing through it. You just kind of lose.
Yeah. And the reason why it was so strong is because, like, you needed to have 3 level 5s to make it. You can make it with 2, but you needed the third one to be able to, like, rig your coin or rig your dice roll. But
which is funny. When I read the card, I kept waiting for when it got broken, and then I got to the part where you get to rig the flip. I was like, oh,
yeah. So it's kind of funny. It's quite an old card. Like, it's just an old card that saw its day.
We actually didn't we run that in our coin versus dice duel, but we never could summon it.
We didn't really get to summon it because it was like level 5 or rank 5, and like those decks were already bad enough. How are they going to get 3 level 5s?
Consistently out of the extra deck was impossible.
So those are your 4 banned cards: 2 links, 2 Xyz. It's funny because it really goes to show like modern Yu-Gi-Oh is largely defined by extra deck cards getting banned.
15 cards of your deck, and that's the most important part.
Yeah, extra deck cards define a lot of this game, and they're usually the cards getting banned. Okay, a lot of limited stuff, so I'll try to go a little faster. So we have Ext Ryziel and Malice P Dormouse both to 1. I think we can kind of talk about these together because these were in a similar vein to what happened in the April list, where they put a lot of the Malice and Ryziel cards to 2. A lot of their consistency cards. So now they put their absolute best starter cards, Ext and Dormouse, to 1 from 2 to really kind of like drive in that like harsh consistency.
We do not want you playing these decks. That's what Konami's saying. It's time. Move on. Buy some Justice Hunters. Well, except for we'll get into that later. Yeah.
Next is the hits to Vanquish Soul, and this is the part that hurt my heart the most. I love Vanquish Souls.
That's true, yeah. That was his deck.
We'll talk about them together. It's Vanquish Soul, Rosin, and Stake Your Soul, both to 1.
They treated y'all like y'all was Snake Eye.
Yeah, it's brutal. These are really harsh hits, and you know, part of me is just like the typical salty person, like, oh, your favorite deck got hit. Of course, you're like whining and bitching. Yes, but it's also a little bit more than that. It's the fact that like this deck really only got to last like a month and a half. And that feels like a bit of a shame because, you know, Vanquish Soul was in that weird set, Wild Survivors, where so normally when they do like these deck builder sets, they will release the set and then they'll release like 2 more cards for the set immediately in the next set.
Right.
And then they'll do like 2 more cards like over the next couple of sets. So basically like the deck builder set will get like 4 support cards in total. Yep. And then maybe more like really far down the line. Vanquish Soul got its first 2 and then never got more until Holly Sue 2 years later. And Holly Sue makes the deck much stronger and a lot more viable. And there's obviously Start and their weird Xyz that doesn't get used much. And it was also carrying the value of Duelist Advance. Like, that was kind of the money card in Duelist Advance. And it wasn't even like a super high dollar card. It was like, you know, 35 to 40 at its peak.
Chump change.
But like even that was kind of going down, and like it feels a little bit rude to players that bought Duelist Advance packs, you know, where like invested in it and got their Holly Sues and other stuff to now see the best card from that set just get
not hit
not
Holly
be useful.
Sue.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't hit her. They just hit the deck that she's used in so hard that, you know, you won't want to really use it.
I mean, you gotta. You have to have real malice in your hearts. Pun not intended. To hit both of a deck's starters.
Yeah, it's like both. It's brutal.
That's
I thought
insane.
They could have like hit them both to 2, like 2 stakes, 2 Varsons. I'd be okay with that.
Like when they were turning Snake Eye into Swiss cheese, I felt like, well, that's pretty well deserved. Snake Eye was incredibly dominant for quite a long time, and Vanquish Soul was at full power for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I think what's really harsh as well is that, you know, it also, in addition to hurting the deck's consistency, also does not do it any favors in terms of like the engine as well, because like with only 1 rosin, it drastically decreases the amount of fire monsters in your hand. It means if you open with your 1 rosin and you're going second, and like Holly Sue can't summon a rosin from the deck, and it really breaks the engine.
Summon another fire.
Yeah, just summon a Xiaolong or something.
There you go.
Yeah, so it really like they broke their ankles pretty hard with these hits, and I hope that down the line, maybe when K9 or something gets hit, or when the power creep continues, that maybe they can bring these cards back to like 2 or something, but remains to be seen. Anyways, a couple cards came back. Fiendsmith's Lacrima is finally back.
Yeah, just a card that needs to be hit because of how easily it was swinging games in time. Well, you changed the time rules, and now
bring
it right back.
We're going to talk a little bit more about those time rules in a second as well. But yeah, Lacrima is allowed to come back, which powers up the Fiendsmith engine quite a bit. It's why I've seen some small spikes, I think, in the prices of things like Tract and Engraver again now.
I think it's because it lets you make easier use of the boss monster for Fiendsmith.
Yeah, it can actually use like Agnum Day and Desiree a lot more easily. And like it makes it a more complete deck again. But thanks to Moon of the Closed Heaven being banned, it's nice because it means like not every deck's going to be spamming this stuff.
No, you gotta commit a little bit harder.
Link Karibo's back. You know, it died for Snake Eyes Sins. It's back now. Cool. Summon Sorceress is also back with her errata, so she probably isn't going to be.
Look what they did to her. Look what they did to her.
She ain't going to be using too much of her own effects. Next, we get into a couple of interesting hits. Herald of the Arclight, and I'll go ahead and include Obedient Schooled here too, because these are clearly the hits targeting Yummy the most. Yeah, Obedient Schooled is an obscenely strong starter / kind of recovery card for them. It does not have a hard once return on it, so if one of your Obedient Schooleds gets ashed and you have a second one, you can just throw it right down, and it's a pretty obscene card.
Well, those days are over.
Yeah, so no more of that, and then Herald of the Arclight, I think, kind of dampens the Yummy defensive field. They used to be able to basically like end with a Herald of the Arclight and then typically make a second one during your turn. And so you'd be dealing with 2 Heralds, 2 Omni Negates, their Floodgates. It's, you know, kind of obnoxious. So with those 2 hits, the Yummy deck takes some substantial damage. They, you know, don't lose anything technically in engine, like you were saying. Nothing from Justice Hunters got hit directly, but yeah. Zodiac Drident came back to 1 from 0.
Oh, I missed Dryden.
Yeah, this is exciting.
The original Draco tail.
Yeah, I think that this is fair actually because like if Ryziel Detonator gets allowed to exist, I think Drident has a right to be around.
You can get away with it.
Much more tame card. Crystron Inclusion. This is a sort of consistency card for Crystron. It's their spell. Crystron K9 was another really popular variant and quite powerful. The trend you might be noticing here is that K9 did not get hit, but its 2 best hybrid decks, Vanquish Soul and Crystron, did take the fall for it. So
Konami said, find another way to play your K9s.
Yeah, you're going to have to buy them and play them, but it won't be with, I guess, these engines. And then finally, Solemn Judgment, which is, I think, a fun one to see in 2025.
Good old Judgment.
Yeah, Solemn Judgment was actually becoming really popular as a side deck card, particularly in decks like Yummy. It was just a good side for when you were going first. Because so many decks, like Yummy, but other decks too, have so many powerful 1-card starters. If you knew that you were going first, like in game 2 or 3 or whatever, you just side in Solemn Judgment and like do your field and set Solemn. It's the spare card, you know, and
it's basically impossible to be interacted with.
Yeah, you get to just say no to your opponent's play.
Well, whatever play you want to make.
Yeah, whatever their play starter is, you just Solemn it, and it's kind of harsh because like Solemn you don't really get to interact with Solemn Judgment if you're the player going second.
You got a counter trap you can activate in hand, huh?
Yeah, so that was pretty brutal. It's now at 1, and I thought that was kind of amusing. All right, 1 card went to 2, and that's Branded Fusion.
Man,
it was at 1
off
before.
To branded players. We're getting the next episode soon.
Yeah, this is definitely like a way to push that upcoming
new product with the deck thing.
The Chronicles deck.
The Chronicles.
Because they're not formally calling it a structure deck.
Reminds me of the God decks.
Yeah, the Egyptian God decks. They're not structure decks.
Even though the boxes said the word structure on them.
They're just God decks. Okay, so a couple cards at 3. More than a couple, actually. Glow Up Bulb has moved to 3.
Easy, fair.
It's kind of funny. I know. I remember a time when people were like, "Glow Up Bulb can never come off the ban list. Like it's so broken. It's like so broken." It's like, well, it's at 3.
Continuous material, turn over turn.
Yeah, and like it's at 3 now. I don't see it doing a whole bunch. At least not with like Krishan Halka Fibrax ban. So I'm sure that some plant decks will find some fun use. Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King, and Dragonic Diagram, also both at 3 now. We're
getting new Draco Slayer support, right?
Yeah, new True Draco and like
True Draco.
Yeah, whatever, the Draco cards. So these are both at 3. I think that this deck, you know, it's so old it kind of needs these cards back. It's not doing much. I think with the new support, maybe somebody can stumble their way into a regional win or something. I don't know.
I don't miss playing against old True Draco, but now the deck is quite dated.
Yeah, it's quite dated, and surprisingly, I think that it wouldn't be as effective today, mostly on the basis of like not having card demise and like all that shit around, because those cards made it really obscene. And a lot of the floodgates that it made use of are now like banned and limited. Floodgates? So I think it'll be fine. Morphing Jars at 3. That was a long time coming. Phantom's fucking Sky Blaster. Finally. You know, I've talked about this card. This card has just been on that ban list. For no reason. Stuck in like the limited limbo for so many years. And so finally that's gone.
Are you going to play it?
I don't know how. I don't know how anyone's going to play it. If someone can like win a regional or something with a Phantom Sky Blaster deck.
3 copies.
I'd love to see this happen. Snake Eye, Ash, and Poplar are back at 3 now.
Dope.
So the Snake Eye engine's like kind of almost back, except OSS is still banned.
It's like,
so it kind of doesn't really amount to much.
Because like, what are you gonna make?
That too. Now that there's no like Barone, there's no Apollosa. It just, I don't know that you're gonna be like making a crazy inboard, but
you can have fun with it for sure, because you still have things to make. But as far as being competitive,
Zodiac Barrage is also back. So alongside Trident, Barrage is now at 3. I don't see these being like,
and it might as well be
terribly crazy or anything. But one neat thing is with Tri-Brigade getting new support in Dumo Dimensions, I know Zodiac Tri-Brigade was like a huge thing in like 2021 or whatever. I
forgot about Zoo-Tri.
So like, there might be some fun to be had. And then finally, Lightning Storm went from 2 to 3. Not gonna lie, I was surprised when this card even went to 2 for a time. So, and people aren't really even playing it a whole bunch right now, but it's 3. So, and that's your ban list. What do you think overall?
Very impactful, very ban listy. I think it earned the title of ban list.
Yeah, it really was the ban list of all time.
Cards came off, cards went on, cards got limited, cards got semi-limited. I'm honestly happy with the list.
And nobody can take that.
Mostly because the deck that I'm currently playing was not even remotely on it. So that's
you're kind of a beneficiary.
I was like, oh, playing okay, cool.
Draco
Not
Tail.
A single Draco Tail card got hit. Good.
Meanwhile, my deck got hit hard, so I'm in a bit of a deck crisis. I gotta find like what I want to play. I've been bouncing around a few options. I'm looking at like Art Mage, Doom Z, the Radiant Storm or whatever they're called.
Oh, the MSTs.
That might be like a fun deck or something to mess around with. I doubt that's I don't know how competitive that'll be. I'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, overall, I would say it's a pretty effective ban list. Like, most people seem happy with it. I think that the most unhappy people are is Vanquish Soul getting hit as hard as it is. But
yeah, both the Vanquish Soul mains are really hurting here.
But I don't think anyone's like angry at the list. So I think Konami did a pretty good one here overall.
You should be. Isn't that deck nearly max rarity for you?
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I know that like that's not forever. Like, these cards will be off. Like, I wouldn't be the sort of person who would like sell my high rarity Vanquish Soul
cards
immediately. Yeah, I gotta sell them. No, like, I like the deck, so I'm just gonna keep the cards. And when it's back in vogue, or it might not ever be back in vogue, but when it's back, I'll be ready. Okay, well, all in all, fun ban list. I'd like to hear how other people are feeling about it. It's mostly been well received, so that's cool. There is a little bit of other Yu-Gi-Oh news, such as the fact that Dumo Dimension sneak peek is this weekend.
Hey,
who's going? I ask as though they can like respond or something. Yeah, we'll be at sneak peeks this weekend looking for stuff. What are you looking for from Dumo Dimensions?
The new Draco Tail cards. See, I'm mad because I had a whole list of cards I was interested in, and that's the only one that came to mind just now.
Yeah, there's a few that I want. I am looking forward to the new Dogmatica stuff, Fleur-de-Lis, the Thunderbolt, and their new Trap card. Since I'm a Dogmatica player,
new Dogmatica cards in 2025.
Well, now like all of those. Anything that was like that's been featured in that Chronicles thing, I think is just getting the support.
So where's the Spriggans?
Dogmatica. That's true, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Spriggans won't actually show up. Maybe it'll just be Kit.
If they did that, I would absolutely lose it.
There's a chance that that's the case.
Okay, I pulled up the list. So, Amano Kage, that's the Kagate Kage Automat version. I need that.
Oh, okay.
You didn't even know. See, you don't be doing your research. I need the... I don't want that either. Serene Psychic Sorceress, because I've been trying to get all the psychic stuff. I need that. Don't want that. Nope.
I'm looking for Doomsy.
Dooms.
I don't, or Dooms. Is it Dooms or Doomsy?
Who knows?
Yeah, I didn't watch their live
I
stream
just
where
say
they
whatever.
probably said it. Because of Jerome or Billy, I guess, would have said it in that live stream, but I didn't watch that shit, so.
Oh, there's not that many. There's not many cards in here for me.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm looking for. There might be something I'm forgetting, but either way, there are some cool cards in it. It's not like my favorite set. If I decide to build the Doomsy, I guess it'll be a pretty impactful set for me, but that's only if I decide to build them.
Do it, you coward.
I think I will. I think I'll give it a crack.
Yeah, we have new canines in here. You want to build pure canine?
I was thinking about it. I might do a little pure canine thing. Oh, there's also a new Regenesis monster. So I'm going to
Are you
try to
sure?
pick that up.
We're not going to
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. I started playing Regenesis and Master Duel, and I haven't really enjoyed it all that much. Like, I remember wanting to play it in real life. I waited too long. Came to Master Duel, I got to play it there, and then I just kind of lost interest.
Well, in some ways, that it's a good thing you waited then. You got to find out you didn't like it for free.
Yeah, so there are sneak peeks happening. Hopefully you guys can make it out to them and have a little bit of fun. A few other things. There's a Lost Art new card, Blackwing Armed Wing.
Didn't even know Armed Wing needed a Lost Art. But
It's got
now,
a gun.
once I saw the uncensored version, I realized, what was that thing he was holding?
Yeah, what did they change it to? I don't really remember.
It's basically a super soaker in the TCG.
Yeah, that's how it has to be.
It never occurred to me that was supposed to be like a real gun. I just thought he used a goofy weapon.
Yeah, as a kid, I guess I didn't like process that. Like, I guess I just kind of didn't care, or maybe
I'll show you a picture because it just looks like a super soaker.
Yeah, it's so colorful. They just changed the color and kind of add that like puffiness to like the orange spiral things, or like
just try to make it as unserious as possible.
So yeah, if you got an OTS store, you can do that. Speaking of OTS stores, let's talk a little bit about our recent OTS stores. Yu-Gi-Oh WCS tournament that we had. Woo! So, I really didn't know this was happening until like a few days before.
I knew it was happening a couple weeks out, but I kept forgetting about it.
Or I think someone had told me and I just didn't, I guess, commit it to memory maybe. But
I was reminded the day before and I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I go.
Yeah. So we had this tournament where you can win the Worlds envelope. Each year they'll make this little black envelope that's got 2 cards in it that are given out at like the World Championships, but also OTS stores are allowed to like have a tournament where one person can win an envelope for themselves.
The idea is to get regular players invested in the World Tournament, but also the World's format.
Yeah, you're supposed to be playing using the World's Banlist, which I think we were doing, although I don't know that anybody
Did anyone do deck checks?
No one was deck checking. We were kind of all just, This was interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, congratulations to Alec. You won. Hey. Woo! You got the world envelope.
I did. I won the tournament. I was playing Draco Tail, and that was I think I'd played a total of 3 games with Draco Tail before that tournament. Yeah. And that's not saying that I'm really good with the deck, and I'm not even saying that my opponents are really bad. It's more so I beat time more than everyone else did during a tournament.
Yeah, so I guess that's sort of the meat of the story, is that we were getting to play with the new time rules. I had been playing with them at one locals beforehand, but it was a smaller one. I think the time rules, for better or worse, really made themselves known in this tournament this past weekend.
Yeah, by round 2, I think everybody but like 2 people had a double match loss.
Yeah, I think like round 1 basically had a lot of double match losses, and a couple of people finished their rounds. Mm-hmm. Then in round 2, I want to say nearly everybody got a double match loss in round 2. And then in round 3, that kind of happened again, and in round 4. So it sort of ended up with, a lot of people just having these It
was dissatisfying results.
Yeah, these dissatisfying results. Like, because it's just, each round you're getting paired against people who are like X2, like you are, because like no one kind of finishes their rounds, and it just feels deflating.
the people with the best records and going into the last round was me and Alex, and that was because, well, we both had a bye at one point. Well,
yeah,
it was a weird bye. My bye was a match. I still won it, but it was a match.
It's Ed where he does that thing.
Regardless, I never understood how the buys work in our tournaments. But anyway, neither one of us got a double game loss for one non double match loss round, and that just pushed us up above everybody else.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even get my first double match loss until I faced Paul.
Yeah, we did. Well, yeah, we did get to play each other. It was fun. We played Vanquish Soul versus K9, and we didn't get to finish.
We played Vanquish Soul versus Draco Tails.
Or yeah. I always call Draco Tail K9 for some reason.
I have no idea why.
I don't know why. I don't know what and I've always done that. Yeah, Draco Tail versus Vanquish Soul. And it was fun, but we didn't get to finish our round.
Yeah,
I didn't get to finish the round. Was I? I didn't. I just.
Yeah. You slow played me.
Yeah, that's right. I was slow playing.
No, Paul didn't slow play me, but that was the sentiment that I heard going around the tables between each round. So and so was slow playing. These rules are stupid. Like,
it's interesting. I didn't hear as much like slow play as much as just people just couldn't finish. I mean, I guess I did hear someone say something like, "Oh, like I got slow played," but like mostly it was like just people like could not finish matches.
It was, given how many people were eating double match losses each round, it was apparent to me that these rules don't work at the local level.
I think that was the big overarching issue, is that at locals, people are just more casual. They're not as informed about all these different decks and what they do. You know, like in one of Alex's games, it was like Yummy versus Yugioh. And nobody knows what the fuck Yugioh does. Alex has never played against Yummy before, and Yummy interacts with everything. And Yugioh is very like deck specific, like it's got its own kind of little specific gimmicks where it's like the monsters have the effects, they're getting them from the spells and traps and blah blah blah. And so like he and his opponent are sitting there having to like read each other's cards the whole time. It's just like, yeah, we're not gonna expect this game to finish.
Yeah, I remember they were finishing their first round when I think I was finishing my match.
Yeah, it's very much the case that like I think for regionals and YCS events, I've heard generally good things from people. People kind of feel like the rounds end and they're over, so the event moves quick. And I think that there's more of an expectation at the regional and YCS level that people know what's up. They know what all the cards do. They're just more prepared. They know their own deck better, so they can play, I guess, more like assertively and with more confidence. Like there's not like as much double, second guessing yourself. But yeah, locals, that's just not the case. Like even down to the point that like you don't even get to like have fun socializing moments because like
you gotta be.
You really do need to be like zipping through these plays.
I was stressed every round of the tournament.
Yeah, it was always stressful.
I was always worried that we're not going to finish in time, and to the point where I tried not to read my opponent's cards as much as I could, which if you guys have played Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a bit of a problem with that in making sure like your opponent is legally resolving all their cards, but I don't have time to check each card to make sure that we're following it by letter.
You have to really just give your opponent the benefit of the doubt that following the rules.
And that can lead to like different misunderstandings. Like Paul and I, when we played.
Yeah, you misunderstood one of my effects.
Because like I swung into one of his monsters, he revealed a Vanquish Soul in hand to protect it. And
I realized with like the field spell effect.
I didn't understand that he'd used the field spell effect because I'm thinking about finishing the match and I'm like, oh God, he protected it. He wasn't supposed to protect it here. Wait, he still has a field spell. I didn't even realize he'd used the field spell effect. So now I'm rerouting my play.
Yeah, you have to zip.
Ultimately ended up going into time, but that was a turn I could have beat him, but I didn't want to take my time and read what was happening.
Yeah, it's very scary. I remember the round after I played against you, I had to play against a Vanquish Soul K9 match. So it was like a Vanquish Soul versus Vanquish Soul K9. That's always a mirror match that's like full of interactions and like crazy board states. And it's just, there's almost no way to, outside of some, and we got to game 3 and it was probably coming to a close, but like it just ended up in a double match loss. And so, long story short, I think that after playing with these rules, I made a video on this, but I'll just reiterate it here. I think it makes Yu-Gi-Oh just feel like it's really demanding. Like, I mean, this is just no longer a game for the faint of heart. And I don't know if I like that.
When we finished that 4th round, I said to everybody, even though I knew I was up, if there was a chance that there was a tie at the end, I told everybody I'm not playing another round of Yu-Gi-Oh today. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time that we got done with the tournament, everyone agreed. More people were just fatigued and annoyed by what had happened. It was less of a sense of like people angry at each other, like, oh, someone slow played me or someone spited me. It was more like we all just don't like the Konami, this new rule set. It's weird because I can see myself in a regional setting quite enjoying this level of tension, because like when I play at regionals, I tend to sort of like, flick a switch with like my mood and my mentality towards the competition. But I think that at locals, it was just very bizarre to see like kind of the more like friendly setting, but it ending up being so like full of double match losses. And also at locals, when you only have like maybe 10 people playing in a tournament or something, that many double losses just means the brackets barely mean anything. Like,
it's horribly messed
pairings are all kind of a joke, and it's,
I remember, but I will say it was nice playing in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament again. Mm-hmm. You guys don't know this about me, but I routinely refer to myself as a choke artist. I don't do well in anything if I feel like I'm being watched and I have a hard time focusing. So tournaments in just about anything are really difficult for me. But I forgot that, that's not that big of a deal for me when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. For some reason, like, Yu-Gi-Oh is the one thing where I can find that focus and kind of lock in to try and get the job done. And despite the fact that I was mostly fighting against time, it was nice because guys, y'all don't understand. I've done like fighting game tournaments. I've done all sorts of different things, but if I have a hard time getting into the zone, so that was nice.
Yeah. So congrats to Congrats to Alec. He won and he got a World's Envelope. We showed it off in a little video and
had to flex it for him,
channeled like social media. So definitely take a look at that if you want to see what those cards look like.
Probably the last black envelope I'll ever get.
Who's to say, right? So, next little quick thing is in Master Duel news, somebody had shared this with me. Master Duel's average player counts, at least on Steam, have been steadily going down over the last few months. Basically, since the release, roughly, of Malice in the game. And later, Ryziel.
It is in the name.
And so, people, you can read this any number of ways, but as of the last 30 days, I think that the game hit, I want to say what looks like its record low in terms of active players, down at just 11,896. That's quite low. And now it still has had like a peak player count of 25,603, but like on average, you can see just through this chart, like the percentage gained and lost.
A lot of red and green.
Yeah, a lot of red, a little bit of green. You can see that the months where it peaks the most is like the anniversary months, like February 2025, as they're doing a little login anniversary and giving away a bunch of stuff. So typically that's sort of where you'll always see spikes, but there is some concern that like, Master Duel's got to do something. What's either they hit these decks really hard, or maybe the answer that I think is even better. And trust me, there are plenty of cards I want like banned in Master Duel and stuff like that. But I think that the game needs more modes as well.
Agreed.
I think that only giving people that excruciating ranked ladder and then the occasional festival isn't cutting it. Because sometimes even I'm a Master Duel defender, right? Like I'm an apologist. And I get on there and I'm just like, man, there's just like, I don't want to go into the ladder and deal with Malice today. Like it's because for context, you don't play too much Master Duel.
Nope.
Malice in Master Duel is obscene. It's already like, the Master Duel best of one problem, but they have like Apolloso legal. They just got Allied Code Talker and like that backup secretary, whatever, backup Adagnister card. And like,
just use Lancia.
Yeah. And it's annoying because like you must use Lancia in most decks to have a chance against Malice. But then that means if you play against Ryziel, which is completely unaffected by Lancia, it's a whole kind of game of rock, paper, scissors or whatever. And like, it's just kind of miserable. And the Duelist Cup is actually, it just started today. It's going to be happening for the next like 10 days or so.
All right, you gonna get in there?
I might not. I think I always try to do the Duelist Cups just for me, just for fun. But this is the first time where I've been like, man,
You want that Worlds invite?
this is, oh no, never. Never. I mean, I'll give it a crack like I always do, but the Steam numbers certainly are telling a story. And I think that they're going to need to not just release an expedient ban list after the Duelist Cup, because that's definitely got to happen. Like, Malice needs hits hard. And I think that this is one case where
they got to ban something.
it is no longer a matter of like, you know, he said, she said, some people want this band, some people want that band. There is a clear thing that the developers can point to, which is lower player numbers. And I can promise you guys, if there's one thing that will ever get like a company to change on something, is if you like see numbers going down, like actual tangible numbers going down.
I honestly think we need enough of these consistency hits. Master Duel, y'all need to start burying some of these cards. Put them under the cover.
Yeah, I think with stuff like Malice, it's gonna have to get it kind of rough. And
hey, get Apollosa out of here.
Apollosa has been around in that game for so long. I think Apollosa needs to go.
Just get the shovel.
I think Moon of the Closed Heaven needs to go. I honestly think like the TCG figured out last year, basically after that whole year of Snake Eye, the TCG figured out that getting rid of generic extra deck things is just the way it needs to be.
Right.
Like, you have to get rid of those cards. They over-centralize the game. They make it very unpleasant. Like, Apollosa went, Borderlands Savage went, Barone went, and the game, in most people's eyes, is better for it.
And they're all legal in Master Duel.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Master Duel's got them all legal, and people just play it all day long, and then pile swap.
And Doom.
Yeah, it's a mess. So hopefully the devs are seeing this and they can do a little something about it.
Well, they're not doing anything about that, but they are trying to address the player problem with the Duelist Point Reward Program.
Tell me about this.
So it's a new point-based rewards program for Master Duel and Duel Links. Mm-hmm. As of now, and though only available in Japan, they are promising it to be a gradual global rollout. So how does it work? Daily login bonus. That's the first thing that I see here.
Okay, I saw this before you get into it. Okay, have we gotten an answer yet? Is it an app or is it like just a website? Because my understanding is that like it's this system of some sort that you connect your Konami account to. And you do things on it, and it gives you like points that you can trade for in-game rewards. But I don't understand how the points are accumulated, and I don't understand if it's like a website or an app.
I do have some of those answers.
Okay.
So while I think it's tracked on an outside website, as long as your Duel Links or Master Duel account is associated with a Japanese Konami ID, you're good to go.
Okay.
It reminds me of the whole UDS situation. You didn't have to opt in for those points. They just accumulated because they were connected to your account. And so you actually get the majority of your points through missions. There are 3 groups of missions: Duelist Points, Master Duel, and Duel Links. So Master Duel missions. These are weekly missions. You get 20 points for logging in, 20 points for dueling 3 times, 20 points for dueling 5 times. Summon or special summon monsters 10 times, get you another 20. And then activating a total of 10 speller traps will get you 20 points. And so you can earn up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 100 points a week just through your weekly Master Duel missions.
Okay.
Now, Duelist Point missions, these are one-time rewards. So by logging into the Duelist Point site, you can immediately get 500 points. So it is a separate website that you can kind of track your points through.
Okay, so that could start you out with 500 type of thing?
Basically, yeah, you log in, you get 500. If you connect your Konami ID, with a Master Duel or Duel Links, you get another 500 points. That's 1,000, like right off the bat, because you're going to do that.
Although these numbers don't, I guess, mean anything until we get the context of.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah.
But check if you visit the Konami Game Store, you get 300. If you set up email notifications, another 300.
Yeah, I gotta get that data.
If you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The Chronicles, Sky Striker Ace Ray, another 300. And Yu-Gi-Oh! The Chronicles, Ecclesia the Virtuous, another 300. So those are all one-time, much larger.
So reminds me of those like old days of Gleam giveaways where it was just like
it is that energy.
Go on there and like it's like follow us on Twitter, you get points. Watch this thing, you get points. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so something that's a little bit weird about it is that I guess like a lot of the Master Duel stuff that you mentioned is already like in-game missions as well.
Yes.
Like in-game daily. So I guess this is sort of allowing you to double up on those things.
Because the points are like they're generic. Mm-hmm. So you can get the points from Master Duel and Duel Links and they all count to the same total.
Yeah, and I know that you can exchange these points for gems. Again, This is only available in Japan, so what I'm wondering then is like I guess you said they're going to be rolling it out. Mm-hmm. Does this apply to is there anything that you can do at like a local card shop, I wonder?
There does not seem to be any mention of physical playing.
See, I thought it would be really cool if basically everything's tied to your Konami account, right? But like you're getting points for doing any Yu-Gi-Oh related thing. So like imagine, okay, Alec went to locals this week and got points for going to enter his local. He also got points for logging into Master Duel. And then he got points for playing Duel Links. And so basically by being a more active Yu-Gi-Oh fan and player and just like doing, you watch the new Chronicles things, you do this and you do that, and you bought something from the Konami shop store, you just get all these points that you can then funnel into your game of choice to get rewards. I think that would be awesome. It doesn't sound like that's really what this is, though.
I noticed you didn't really ask me what the rewards are.
I heard they're just gems and like legacy packs or something.
Gems is a bit of a stretch. So there is a reward for 100 gems and 10 gems.
Which are not much, really.
So the 100 gems is actually, it costs you 0 points and it's one time only. Just to get you to care about the system.
To care.
The 10 gems is once per week and they're free. So once again, just visit the page once a week and you can get 10 gems.
Okay.
That's all the gem rewards. Points functionally have nothing to do with gems.
So I guess the points are something else.
The point, if you have 3,000 points, which you have to do quite a few of these missions to even get to, you can get the That's 10 wallpaper.
Oh, so like some in-game like titles and wallpapers and maybe like...
You said papers, I said paper.
Well, one for now, they'll add another in the future, I'm
Hopefully
sure.
so. Because
unless this whole thing just
otherwise, you spend
out.
100 once a month to get 20 SR crafting points, not even UR. And the only thing that is unlimited, the only thing you can just grind points for and get as much as you want, 300 for a single legacy pack ticket. It's unlimited, but
no, that sounds like shit.
How
that's garbage.
I feel like
that's really
Duel,
not great. They're
overvaluing legacy packs.
They always have. They love to give them out in the game. You can't dismantle any of the cards from them.
So you want me to grind in this game every day, every week, every month, and my reward is legacy packs?
You know how in this podcast I sometimes will say, like, it's easy to hate Konami and say, like, they like suck at managing this. They're killing this game. They're so bad. I've rarely thought that that's the case. What I always find myself saying instead is Konami always has the right idea. They just are so afraid to like go like, 10 toes down on anything. They always do these like half measures where it's like cool, like the Shadow Masked Duelist thing, but they just do it backwards where it doesn't end up getting any attention and like no one really kind of tunes in. Or like there's all these things where like the idea is pretty sound, but then they just fumble it somehow. And I'm not saying that they do that with everything. Some stuff works fine. Some stuff's a disaster, like the AI commentary thing or whatever. But like, it's not for lack of trying. This sounds like a fundamentally cool idea, like this account where you get points for like being an active Yu-Gi-Oh person.
I actually disagree with you wholeheartedly there.
You don't think that this idea is good? It sounds like
it's a lack of trying.
Well, no, a lack of trying is that this wouldn't even happen.
Well, my thing is this system is not innovative in the slightest. Like, it feels like you can look at any old freemium game and find a system like this Like I don't feel like they tried very hard.
Well, I'm just saying that like from the Konami that we're used to, I'm shocked to even hear that this is happening. And I'm not. And to be clear, the bar's in hell. Like the bar's low. They don't deserve like the pizza party with the Coke for even doing this. It's just that
you don't get the Coke pizza.
The fact that like
we finna take the Coke.
The fact that this could have been something interesting-ish. What would have made it interesting for me is if it was an actual joint Yu-Gi-Oh experience. That would have felt kind of innovative. Because you're right, any mobile game can just throw together some system where like, okay, you tap on this app and sign up and you get a little bit of shit and
In
then
fact,
like, you're done.
Most mobile, at least like most like gacha games I play have systems like this.
But here, it's like they had the opportunity to make it a cross Yu-Gi-Oh experience. You play Duel Links, you play Master Duel, you go to your shop, you play Cross Duel if it still existed. You engage with Yu-Gi-Oh in these different ways and you're getting rewarded
Legacy packs
in a bunch of ways. But like, what do they give you? Barely any gems. Legacy packs and like a wallpaper. It's like this could be more. This could be something, but it just feels like it's a half measure.
See, I think they could have saved all of this.
Okay,
they could have saved all of this if that legacy pack ticket was like replaced with an item that could upgrade the rarity of one of your cards.
Yeah, get it like royal rare. Yeah. Oh, people would love that.
I think people would definitely grind to max royal rare out some decks.
Yeah, you're so right.
It would have been, I think, then it would have felt fulfilling. I mean, it would have been a hell of a grind still, but people would have done that.
I think it would have also just been interesting because, like, we've seen the shareholders that have these concerns around, like, kind of the ability to like retain players, like this player retention thing. Mm-hmm. People might play Master Duel, but they get scared to play the physical game or whatever, vice versa. I think that this could have been a way to be like the connective tissue where because you're rewarded for doing both and you can redeem those rewards in either, there could be like now if you're a physical only player, you still have a motivation to play Master Duel. If you're a Master Duel only player, you have a motivation to try to find a card shop. But they're not doing that, so.
I mean, I do think there might be some difficulties with doing that globally. Because I think it's very possible to just do it in Japan. But then it's like, okay, how do we roll this out to like the Americas?
And would it feel fair if you live in a place that just doesn't have like a card shop, I guess, and it's...
It can be more logistically. I can see it could be being more difficult, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. And this system to me feels like a lack of effort.
Yeah, I mean you're right. They're really not doing much, but who knows? There might be more that they're going to announce as they bring it westward. We will try to remain optimistic, right?
Sure. I saw a comment. Someone said 520 gems per year is crazy.
That really is nothing.
It's like that's assuming this is going to reset in a year.
I know. All right, I've talked about enough Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm tired of it now.
Fair.
Because Yu-Gi-Oh put me in a bad mood. Let's talk a little bit of basic card game stuff.
Okay, I'm with that.
So here's something really cool. A quick little Pokemon card sale. Or two Pokemon stories, really. So Pokemon's most infamous card sells for $4 million.
$4 million? Was that Charizard?
This is an Illustrator Pikachu card. That was a PSA 9. So often considered to be the rarest Pokemon card of all, the so-called Pikachu Illustrator. Its proper name is Pikachu Illustrator, but no one really calls it that.
Illustrator.
Pokemon Illustrator. It was a print of around 41 cards given to winners of a Japanese competition in 1998. It's since gone on to become notorious not just for being so highly valued and sought after, but for being the card on which one Logan Paul spent $5,300,000 on in 2022.
Ooh.
Another of the cards, this one graded as a PSA 9, I guess his was a PSA 10, just sold for a flat $4 million on eBay, reaffirming it as the most valuable Pokemon card of all time.
$4 million is insane. $4 million... Paying $4 million for a card is insane, or at least it would be. But if you have $4 million to spend on anything, you've already won at life. So I guess this isn't very insane for you.
Yeah, you're getting to indulge your favorite hobby and interests.
Boy, I wish I had $1 million to blow on anything.
Yeah, you guys can make Alec's dreams come true by becoming a channel member. Click the join button.
Help me make $1 million so I can blow it on something like really small and infinitesimal. Yeah. Like guys, if we can get 1 million people to send me $1, right? I'll have 1 million. And here's my promise. I will spend it on something so small and unnecessary. Like, I'm going to go find the world's most, like, highly prized rock. Not a gem, a rock. And I'm going to buy it for $1 million. If you make that happen, I will do it.
Okay,
I will upset my entire family. I have a random
tangent. This is totally unrelated, but since you mentioned rocks, it reminded me of this thing I saw. So, there are rock skipping contests. Like, people can, like, skip rocks along, like, a lake or a river or whatever.
I mean, I'm sure, like, two people can be like, oh, I can skip more than you. Like,
well, people, people can get competitive over anything if you let them. Well, here's what I saw. Apparently, people were caught cheating by, I guess, like, shaving down their rocks to, like, shape them in a way that makes rock skipping easier.
That makes sense. You can definitely do that. Cheating, are you saying that there is a rule set for rock skipping?
I mean,
because rules imply organization, and I'm kind of scared to ask, Paul, is there a rock skipping league?
There probably is something. Because remember, if there's ever casual anything, then that means there's competitive anything.
I mean, I guess if we can compete in pickleball, I guess we can compete in rock skipping. Fine, whatever.
But yeah, so this Pikachu card got sold for a bunch of money, and that's a thing. Congratulations to whoever the heck it is that has it. I guess they don't know who it.
No, do not wish them congratulations, Paul. They have the ability to spend $4 million on any one thing. They don't need congratulations.
Yeah, they don't need my thanks or my, I guess, applause. It's interesting because this was a PSA 9, Logan's was a PSA 10, but they also say that a PSA 7 version went up in 2023, and it put up for bid starting at $480,000, but it received not a single offer and went unsold.
Dang.
So, it does remind me, though, of how, like, with a lot of these cards where it's like, there's this Pikachu that sold for $1 bajillion, you're really operating under a market of, like, less than like a dozen people on the planet or something.
They said there was only ever 15 copies of that card.
Well, there's 41 of it total.
Oh, 41.
It's presumed to be 41.
Oh, okay.
But it's believed that most are like literally gone, like thrown away, crunched up, gone, burnt, bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
It's someone's recycled milk carton.
Yeah, who knows? But like, just when you're trying to sell one of these, like, there's not going to be that many people like in the market for it, so it seems kind of hard. Anyway, trading cards are poised to create Target's next $1 billion category.
They're gonna need it because they stock prices be sliding.
Target's had a bit of a rough year, but here's what they say: despite Target's overall sales slump, the big box retailer has found a bright spot in a popular, fast-growing sector. Trading cards.
Because Target employees love trading cards.
Yay. The thing that probably got you trampled or something on a release date.
Got a black eye behind some Pokemon.
Trading card sales at Target are up nearly 70% year to date and are on track to deliver $1 billion in sales this year.
Oh, we're better than a Marvel movie.
Target EVP and Chief Commercial Officer Rick Gomez told investors in the company's second quarter earnings call on August 20th. So Gomez said that these trading card games like Pokemon, combined with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 game console, drove growth within its hardline categories last quarter. Blah, 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 there's some numbers, but basically they say trend-forward tech accessories like brightly colored headphones and phone cases and toys priced under $20 have also helped to shape growth. So it sounds like what they're going to be doing is... And they aren't really specific on this, but like he kind of makes a quote where they say they're going to be effectively doubling down on trading cards. That includes sports cards as well, because sports card sales are up 48%. It seems like they're going to be like doubling down, but they don't really say how. Like, how are they going to improve the buying experience? I think they're just going to be ordering more.
Order more, have larger displays, more prominently advertise that you have them, and this is a place you can get your trading cards, and also annoy the absolute hell out of people.
I mean, it's kind of bizarre because my understanding was that a lot of Targets were starting to do the thing where like you had to go to customer service to ask for the cards.
Right, but that's at the like branch local level. We're talking corporate strategy, and corporate says we're hurting. What's up? Trading cards? Make it happen. We do not care about the logistics. We do not care about the safety of it. We don't even care that going like like doubling down on trading cards doesn't even make a whole lot of sense if you're a like supermarket. Like, but whatever,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it. And let's not forget they have absolutely no control over the state of trading cards. Who's to say trading cards stay hot like this? They don't. Target doesn't make cards. They just sell what other people make. If a Pokemon falls off, then this is all for nothing.
Brian Gildenberg, founder and CEO of Confluencer Commerce, said that Target's ability to align itself with a growing category is a good thing, but he doubts the growth will benefit the company in the long term, considering the company isn't doing anything particularly unique in the way it merchandises the cards. Here's his quote. Just search for Target trading cards on TikTok. It's a very funny experience because the overwhelming amount of social media content is like 40-year-old dudes wandering around the trading cards section of Target, which is not normally their core guest.
Absolutely not.
It is funny because, yeah, the typical Target shopper is the middle-aged mom. They don't really actually expect to get men in there, certainly not the 40-year-old guy who's looking for trading cards. And
in fact, the only times I've really been in Target in the last 7 or so years has just been to get cards. To be clear, that was a long time ago. I have not entered a Target in the last like 2 years or so, but
Alec is boycotting, remember?
in the past. Well, it's I got to stand for something. I'll fall for everything, and it's not just because the prices are too high.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of interesting. I guess, yeah, you're probably right. They'll just order more cards and kind of display them more prominently. And the idea being that it will attract more of the 40-year-old men and maybe like kids' parents. Because those are two separate groups, I'm sure.
I truly think this type, like, if they try to follow through on a strategy like that, it won't really. I just don't see that really meaning much. People are just there for their Pokemon cards. They don't care.
Yeah,
about
they'll get
Target.
in and get out. But I mean, I guess Target doesn't mind because it's all the same money. So.
But can Target even get more cards? My understanding is you get what the Pokemon company puts out there.
Well, I imagine a store as large as Target can probably bargain for more than like usual if they want to.
I think it would be interesting if big box retailers could start to influence card game makers and say, hey, y'all need to like double up this order. Like whatever y'all trying to run for your next main set, double that.
I think they're going to try.
That.
And that could be beneficial.
That could actually be beneficial. I had never thought about it from that lane because when we think about card games, we're thinking from the card shop angle where card shops have literally no power in that relationship.
So I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened last week.
You said the Mario Direct?
Yeah, it was a little bit of that. It was a 60-minute long Nintendo Direct.
That thing went long.
It happened last Friday. They're typically only about 40 minutes. And it showcased a lot of different things. They announced the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond got a release date, there's a physical Virtual Boy, and a whole bunch more. So I figure we can kind of, zip through and talk about things that maybe impressed us or seemed interesting and what we thought about it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I was falling asleep at the beginning.
Yeah, it started with the Mario 40th stuff.
All that
Did
Mario
any of that really
stuff,
speak to
no,
you?
not a single one of them.
Yeah.
I don't hate Mario. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I was watching and interested because I thought, and I didn't end up getting this, that it was going to be, okay, Mario's 40th anniversary, here's the announcement of a new 3D platformer. No such thing. Instead, we got re-release. Okay, there's a Super Mario Galaxy movie that's coming out. That's fun, that's great, I'm sure I'll watch it. But this is a Nintendo Direct, and I'm here for games news, not really like movie news. Like, great.
It's Nintendo, it's all the same.
Yeah, and by their estimation, it is all the same. There's a new Mario Tennis game. It's like Mario Tennis Fever. Great, but not a 3D Mario platformer.
I enjoyed Mario Tennis years ago.
Yeah, Mario Tennis is fine. And then re-releases, a re-release package, and here's where the controversy comes in, of Super Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 together in a bundle for $70.
Yup. 2 games for the price of 1.
Made even more weird by the fact that Super Mario Galaxy 1 was included in the last anniversary thing 5 years ago on the Switch where you got 64 Sunshine and Galaxy.
But it didn't have Galaxy 2.
And that was $60, and that was already controversial, but now they're re-releasing Galaxy again with 2, and it's still 2 games that are 15 plus years old, and it seems like $70.
But did you enjoy them the first time?
Yeah.
Well, then that's That's an easy $70 then, right? It's guaranteed enjoyment. Right. It's the whole idea behind like remasters. You already know you like it, so it should be an easy purchase.
Right. Be sure to fair warning for some people, it's sarcasm font. Clearly, no, I know how it is in these comments in this podcast. People think like Alec is such an idiot for like enabling Nintendo's terrible business thing. Like, we're joking. We know it's a scam at $70. That's a terrible price for those things.
You can't even argue that's inflation. That's significantly fewer games for more.
Inflation, my ass. Like, games that came out in 2007 and like they're digital games. There's nothing.
You're right. It should be 80.
Yeah,
it should be the same price as Borderlands.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get to Borderlands. Yeah, it's like there should be no real like tariffs related thing. I mean, they're re-releasing some games in the eShop. So.
It's all digital. There's no tariff nonsense. These are games that are already made. There's no extra R&D.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, they're just like running on some emulator and running them at a higher resolution. Also, there's Super Mario Wonder is getting a re-released Switch 2 version with like a new multiplayer mode.
Wonder, that was the elephant one, right?
Yeah, the one where they turn into elephants.
Got it.
I will say Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a very fun game. Like, it's a great game. It came out, I guess, about a year and a half ago now.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I played it. It is fun. The thing is, though, the Switch upgraded version is just like you were having to either buy the game for the first time, or I think you can get like a discounted like upgrade pack. This gets into what will be the main sort of thesis of this whole thing, which is charging you for upgrade packs for Switch 2, DLCs, remasters. It begins to pick up.
Because what, Donkey Kong Bonanza
also Donkey Kong Bonanza is getting a DLC thing, or not getting it. It got it the day that the Direct was.
Oh, okay.
But it's $20 for the DLC, and DLC for $20 alone doesn't. That's not the shocking part. It's more that Bonanza came out like just like 2 months ago. So for there to be DLC this fast, people kind of feel is like, like maybe you guys probably just could have been in the main game.
But it's an old conversation. So really we should just be happy to have it. Yeah, like we should have drawn the line with like basically released a DLC years ago. They were already doing it. They were doing it back in 2016. And they're doing it today. And I guess it's worse because Nintendo's doing it now, which it feels like they're kind of late to the party.
Yeah, I have mixed thoughts on the complaints that people have about all of it, but I'll get to those when we finish. So tell me about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, because this is a game that I've only seen like the footage of, but I don't really play the Metroid games. I don't have like a history with them. I think you've played more than me anyway.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Metroid Prime 4?
What
you've seen. Oh, you're not into it.
I can't be excited. The game got announced in 2019. I was excited in 2019. And then for the next 2 years, I waited with bated breath for any amount of information about the game. And I promise you, in 2025, at no point this year did I even think about Metroid Prime 4. I had moved on. And then we get to near the end of the Direct, and here we go with this like motorcycle thing. And I'm like, what am I seeing here? And it's like, oh, this is Metroid Prime 4. And then Alex was in the room with me. He would tell you exactly what I said. I said, that didn't come out yet?
Yeah. So, from what you saw, did you like what you saw?
It looked fine. It's just, so as long as we've waited, I would have expected it to look like
a little better.
Like, if we're gonna wait for like 6 years, I want to see 6 years of effort in the game trailer. But I didn't see that. This felt like a game that that's being developed within a year.
I will say I got a little worried when I watched it because I was like, no. It was developed. I don't know if it's being developed on the Wii U or the Switch or whatever, but like it definitely looks like it was a Switch game that's just happening to release on Switch 2 because the graphics aren't amazing. Like, kind of, I'm seeing Samus on this motorbike thing, and the model looked just not modern. Like, they just didn't seem like it had like the fidelity I would expect from like a Metroid Prime game, and like
it looked fine.
The current year, like it's acceptable.
It's like,
but the desert also felt like it was just very like empty and like
it looked fine.
You know, it just. So I was kind of concerned, but then when she got back into the interior areas, like when she was in kind of this little dark volcano thing, I was like, okay, this looks more like the Metroid sort of Prime gameplay that I would have expected. That area looked a lot nicer and more polished, and the gameplay looked like, I don't know what she does on the motorcycle. I guess it might just be like a sort of fast travel method or like an overworld sort of thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's a bit of an overworld thing. Make the world, because in Metroid you go to these different planets, and being in that Metroid style of gameplay, you really don't get a sense of scale for the planets. And I feel like maybe this time the planet is supposed to feel like you're actually traversing.
Yeah, you the player kind of going from area to area.
Maybe it's just I'm just whelmed now, and that's weird because I was a huge Metroid fan growing up, and I loved Metroid Prime. I couldn't wait for the next Metroid Prime game, and in 2025, I'm looking at my wallet like, do I really have Metroid Prime money? Does Metroid Prime feel like it's worth my money?
Well, you'll get to decide on December 4th.
Because we finally have a release date,
yeah.
Which I could be wrong, but I'm still pretty sure this game was announced in 2019.
It's been a while.
Did not have a release date.
So it sounds like Alec is not too big on Metroid Prime.
I'm not, man.
I don't play Metroid games, so I'm not giving a.
And I'm also not saying the game won't be fun, and that if you want it, you shouldn't have it. It's just I'm over it.
What was the 2D one you played a lot? I know you liked that.
Oh man, it was Metroid Zero Mission.
Zero Mission.
And Metroid. What's the second game? I keep trying to say Prime. Metroid.
Was it Metroidvania? Was that what that was?
No, Metroidvania is a genre.
Okay.
Because like Castlevania and Metroid have similar styles of gameplay.
Okay.
No, it's oh man, what is the name of that game? It's the one with the X Anabot, not the X Anabot. That's Digimon.
Well, I know there's like a Metroid game that you were playing and you liked a lot of it.
Yeah, Metroid Zero Mission completely like created my love of the Metroid franchise. I played that game on my Game Boy. I must have done like 6 or 7 playthroughs. Alex, he had the next Metroid game that came out, but I don't remember the name of it. But I love that game too. Well,
either way, what did you think of the Pokemon side of things? Specifically, I want to ask you what you thought of Pokopia.
So the moment the trailer started, I said to Alex, watch they made Pokemon Minecraft.
And it kind of feels a little bit like that.
But worse.
Yeah, well, so you play as a Ditto that turned into like a human kid.
It looked horrific.
Which looks a little bit terrifying.
I did not like that. So I already don't care for Minecraft style games. I'm just not that creative. Not that deep. But then I saw the Ditto turn into a person, and that was like, nah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that it looked like Minecraft at first, and it does look like Minecraft. But then when they started to kind of zoom out on the gameplay, I realized actually it looks like how Pokemon games just used to look. Like the tiley blockiness. That doesn't,
the blockiness, that's very Minecraft too.
Yeah, so it's hard to say because Pokemon would have done it first, but it does look very Minecrafty. I saw it as more of it seems like it's like kind of an Animal Crossing, like a kind of farming life sim.
They are headed
as opposed to like
direction. I don't care for those games either.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I want to say it's not my genre because I actually played my fair share of Animal Crossing like when I was a kid. But for Pokemon, I think that they're just doing the Pokemon thing. They realize this is a genre that has not had the word Pokemon slapped onto it. And so they realize that they know that by putting Pokemon on any genre, it will just sell. There's just a default level of interest. You've seen Pokemon fighting game, Pokemon MOBA, like you can kind of just, Pokemon whatever will sell. And so I think that's why they're trying to get into that.
I still just think you should have been a trainer and you just summon your Pokemon from Pokeballs to do the little interactions with the overworld and call it a day.
Grow crops and till the field. Build homes for the Pokemon you meet. Make the land of your dreams. And much more when Pokemon Pokopia launches in 2026.
I did not like that in the slightest.
I know there was a new Yoshi game. I didn't really have too much to say about it. I feel
the same way about Yoshi as I do about Mario.
What's that?
It's not cool a big fan. Or whatever.
Okay. Anything else in the Direct that stood out to you?
I know for a fact there's something, but it's slipping my mind. Do you have a list of what was shown?
I was going through some of the highlights. So they showed that there's like a new Fire Emblem game.
That looked cool. I don't play Fire Emblem, but it looked cool.
Yeah, some people were very disappointed because that was like the last thing that they showed, and I guess people wanted a more of like a secret big reveal trailer at the end, and we didn't get that. I thought
that was a secret big reveal. Was that?
It was Nintendo's secret big reveal, but
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 7.
Yeah,
right? Rewritten.
Was it
reimagined?
Reimagined. That's it. Reimagined. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, Dragon Quest Seven Reimagined looked so good.
Cool. I'm glad to hear you gushing over something. It's felt like you've been so down on this direct so far.
Soul. Yeah, well, that's honestly how I felt watching the direct. I was bored during the Mario parts, and then for most of it, I was kind of just whelmed and underwhelmed. And then, because what I really wanted to see was an announcement for Dragon Quest 12. And when I saw the visuals start and the music, I was like, wait, what? And then it was 7 Reimagined, which is not 12, but still pretty good. I can get behind 7 Reimagined. It looks great.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else. There's Pokemon Legends ZA announced Mega Dimension Stars, Mega Raichu X, Mega Raichu Y.
It's cool. I know like 2 Raichu fans, so I know they'll be pretty jazzed about it.
Okay.
They showed off the Mega Forms for Chespin, not Chespin. What's that big thing's name? Chespin's evolved form. Fennec, whatever. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
What is its name?
Chespin. It's Chestnut.
Chestnut's the big one. Delphox is the big one, and then Greninja. They all got Mega Forms announced, and I think Chestnut and Delphox, how do you say, were eating, and Greninja was hanging upside down.
I thought Greninja looked cool.
He was hanging upside down. Like, come on now.
The controversy being that
Greninja was upside down. Yeah, it should be controversial. Like that's what they think an upgrade is.
Yeah, the controversy being that the Mega Raichu and Mega Raichu, like X and Y, were announced as part of the Mega Dimension DLC, which is going to be a Day 1 DLC. So there's kind of that Day 1 DLC thing cropping back up again.
Day one. Like the Pokemon games have been doing DLC for a while, and they've been announcing them so early that you know that they're planned.
This was in development with the game. Yeah, people don't like that, and I guess that's the only way to get these megas, so that probably doesn't help.
I think, and I heard the Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut ones are connected to the Z to A ranked battle system, which is so strange. Like, I'm assuming this is really supposed to be a test bed for their next mainline Pokemon games. Like, can we connect like future Pokemon like releases with like ranked Pokemon play?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing
the
how...
The answer should be no.
Should be no, will be yes.
Probably.
Like literally, it should be no, will be yes.
Probably. I honestly didn't even think this system could be like they could have a ranked for it. I thought the battle system was so avant-garde that it wouldn't be very competitive.
There's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
That was weird. Not bad, just weird.
Yeah, it's the kind of Dynasty Warriors Zelda game.
But they kind of turned it on its head because...
Where she's basically the main character.
She's the main character. And it's not even as, a woman. No, it's not about being a woman. It's that typically in Dynasty Warrior style games, your main person swings a sword. And that's pretty consistent. Even a sword, a staff, something very stick-like or phallic-shaped that hits things. And she uses magic.
Which is fine. You can play as her, Rauru, Sonya, a Korok, and more. I think Rauru and Sonya are characters from like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, yeah. So I don't have a lot of experience with those games. They are main characters from them, so it kind of makes sense. Ganondorf is still in the game, and he's just the bad guy, but Link is nowhere to be seen. So
it'd be strange. I wonder if like Link is just really not in the game.
He's probably unlockable.
It would be weird.
He's unlockable.
Right? Like,
he's unlockable. You know, he's gonna be like some.
Maybe they don't
character.
have a normal. Like, maybe it's just a dark Link.
Because you know that Zelda game, like the Zelda puzzle game that came out on the Switch like last year, where like Link is captured or whatever, and she has to protect him. I thought that was kind of a nice switch up.
You know, what would be cool is if instead of it being Link, that's locked. That is an unlockable character. It's Yoda from Star Wars.
You're not Yoda from Fortnite?
Yoda isn't in Fortnite, Paul.
I'm surprised. I was actually just guessing and hoping I'd be
They don't have a model small enough.
So there's a little bit more information that's going to be coming in Kirby Air Riders. but they announced an amiibo for it. They announced Resident Evil Requiem.
Oh, hell no.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is going to be on the Switch 2 in January. More information on that game.
Late to the party, but okay.
Well, they're slowly getting those like remake games onto the Switch too, because now they have a console that's strong enough to play them. Because there's no way we're going to get that on an original Switch.
It's weird that it's didn't announce Intergrade and the original at the same time.
I think that they split them up just to like get the double wave of like sales or attention or something. I don't know. But that's pretty much it as far as like the headliner games. I saw there was like a Monster Hunter Stories game, which kind of has more of like a...
It's more of an JRPG version of Monster Hunter. Less focus on action combat, more focus on growing and being a great guy with a story. I mean, Monster Hunter games have stories, but this is much more JRPG like.
Yeah. And I also saw that Danganronpa is getting like a game. Danganronpa 2x2. You would know about that.
I can't remember if Danganronpa 2 got a proper release in the West.
Yeah, I think they say it was a Japanese only game.
That's what I thought.
But oh God, I'm dying. They're re-releasing it, but they're also adding like a new alternative story or something that you can play.
Because I bought every Danganronpa game that I could possibly get my hands on. And so this would help me complete that collection. It's just on the Switch, which is a pain.
Yeah.
Because all my other ones are on PC. They're on Steam. At least I think they're on Steam. But they're on my PC, so I can just play them on any computer I'm on, even my laptop. But then this one specifically being locked to the Switch is very annoying to me because, well...
I could see this eventually just coming to Steam.
It should. It should have started on Steam. I don't know why we're starting with the Switch.
And then one last big thing is that there's that Virtual Boy where if you remember the old Virtual Boy, you can now buy this big peripheral or whatever that lets you use your Switch 2 or Switch 1, which I was surprised they did, but I guess it shouldn't have been hard. And you can like put your Switch in there and like you like look into it like you're looking at the old Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
and
you can pay money for a hunk of plastic.
Yeah, I think for Nintendo fans it's cool. Like if you kind of are into the retro games sort of experience and you didn't get to like, because I mean the Virtual Boy was like in the 80s or something.
Like yeah, the vast majority of people
in the early 90s or something like that
interacted with the Virtual Boy are old now, but I don't know if we're trying to if we actually want to relive the Virtual Boy in 2025.
I'm trying to see what the price is for that thing
because I didn't have a Virtual Boy. I had some other brand version, like kind of Virtual Boy.
It's the games and accessories can be purchased and played by Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack members. The Virtual Boy will cost $99.99, or the cardboard version will cost $24.99. I guess why would you not get the cardboard version? I guess the big version, I guess you can like set it down like kind of on your coffee table or something, your desk. Whereas like the cardboard version, I think is more like, you know those like old VR phone case things? There was like a little cardboard thing. You just put your Galaxy phone or something in it. I guess it's like that.
Well, I thought the Virtual Boy would have to be about the same thing.
Well, yes, they offer that, but they also offer like a big one. I don't know what that...
I'm trying to remember what my little like fake VR thing was as a kid.
It's probably some off-brand shit from a pawn shop you'll never hear the name of again.
I had one. It wasn't a Virtual Boy, but I played it for like a month, and then I stopped. Good times.
So that's the Nintendo Direct.
There's an SD Gundam game on the Virtual Boy. What?
That's weird.
SD Gundam Dimension War was on the Virtual Boy. Yo, if I can get...
Alec is sold now. And all it took was like the mention of Gundam one time. He'll pay his $100. No, but...
I was about to talk some shit, but now...
Yeah, that's the Nintendo Direct. It sounds like you were not too pleased. I will admit I was not like blown away by anything that I saw.
I mean, I don't expect too much from Nintendo Directs, though, since I'm not that big of a Nintendo boy. But, so honestly, this was just kind of fine with me. Did I wish I could get some of my hour back? Sure. Like, if I had known that they were going to have like a chunk of the start time just be Mario stuff, I wish I would have just skipped it, but you know.
Yeah, I think that they released a bunch of amiibos. There's like amiibo of the Samus figure from like Metroid Prime. There's like some ones that go with like Mario Tennis and all this stuff. And the amiibo prices are high.
I didn't even know we were still doing amiibos.
They are, but like it's not like when they were doing them with Smash versus every Smash character gets a little cute $12.99 amiibo. Now they're like 30, 40, $50.
I think
they're more detailed.
We're now entering the collectibles industry, so everything's got to get a premium price on it now.
Yeah, you add inflation, tariffs, and then collectibles upcharge. And it kind of feels like as a Nintendo fan, you're kind of being juiced a little bit. Like,
just ring you out.
It's tough because I have friends who are what you would probably call like those very like Nintendo boys. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've got one buddy. He's a
lifelong, like they are super into it. And so they are finding it's like, man, I guess I'm just not going to afford all this stuff because like if games are $80, these peripherals are expensive. There's these day one DLCs. It's like
you don't need both of your kidneys.
Apparently you don't. Nintendo says no. So I don't know. I think that Nintendo is going to need to show a proper game soon, like a proper 3D Mario or like a new 3D Zelda. Because right now, so much of what I saw just felt like it's like remake, remaster, like Switch upgrade game from like Switch 1. But like, where's kind of the new, you know? Right. Like none of this told me you need to buy a Switch 2. Because I can play Pokemon ZA on my Switch. And there's nothing else that I like must play right now. And that's going to vary from person to person, but you know, like that's kind of the...
I'd read somewhere that some of those DLCs they announced were locked behind Switch 2 exclusive, but I don't think that was the case. I think that was just a fake story.
Okay, so we mentioned Borderlands earlier, and there is a story around that. So, you're a Borderlands fan, yeah?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, have you played or planning on playing Borderlands 4? I know it just recently dropped.
I do plan on it. I do have to be a bit strategic about it since... it's not the world's cheapest video game, not by a long shot.
Yeah, well, Borderlands 4 dropped last week, and fans have been pouring hours into the fresh, open-world environment of Kairos. But the launch hasn't been without issues. On PC, the game is struggling immensely for a vast portion of the community, and that has made Gearbox's leadership, especially Randy Pitchford, the target of criticism. On Steam, 35% of all reviews are negative, and while Gearbox is hard at work fixing up Borderlands 4 post-launch, disgruntled players are still taking to social media to harangue Pitchford and co. Recently, the Gearbox CEO, though, hit back against some of these criticisms about how the game was made. So, apparently there were some issues with, like, upscaling technology or something that was used in the game, like it uses some sort of AI upscaling. This is actually very common practice in games. It's been sort of that way for a while. But people aren't able to get it to like run properly on their rigs, and so some people are having issues. Randy Pitchford, who we know already had some things to say to people about the cost of the game.
Combative on social media.
Yeah, you might remember when they announced that like this game was like $80 or whatever, 70, 80, however much it is. People were kind of upset, and he was like, well, like, tough shit, don't buy it then. He didn't say those words. But
like, let them eat cake.
But he said something not too kind. Well, anyway, here's what he says in response to a comment about relying on AI upscaling. He said, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. So he's saying, you know, you dumbass gamers, you know so much, well then do it yourself. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. /sarcasm.
That fixes everything.
So, the message came after a string of posts containing technical advice from Pitchford, which was aimed at placating PC players experiencing widespread issues. He recommended using the built-in Windows 10 graphic settings, turning off volumetric fog, switching on DLSS, among other things. So, contextually, it's nice that he was at least trying to offer some quick fixes for people for today while they, you know, at Gearbox work on the actual patch. So that sounds okay. Now that also doesn't bode well for it's like, God, you got to do all these settings.
So it's like, why does the game need that much work out the box? Like, I thought we left that behind with Cyberpunk's release. Are we still doing this?
Well, it's weird because it seems like this was a PC exclusive problem. Like the console players have had no such issues.
Oh, the console players have had troubles with Borderlands 4.
Oh, okay. So it's across the board, huh?
There's a suspect that there's actually a memory leak when it comes to playing on PS5. That hasn't been confirmed, but the game over the longer you play on console,
the worse the performance gets.
Performs, and people have had to just start restarting their game
every like
to
few
kind
hours.
of reset the problem.
Oh goodness, it's awful. Well, his response to one user about using AI upscaling was lambasted by the social denizens. One person said, "Wow, really? That's your reaction? Not a good look, bro." While another bagged on Gearbox in general and said, "It's not our fault you can't deliver a solid product." And then another user jumped back to the price point of the game and said, "Don't charge $70 if you cannot optimize the game. Crybaby." So, the comments came thick and fast, targeting Pitchford personally. "You either need to learn PR basics or step down, Randy. You are a genuine embarrassment." So, how do you feel about this? Him going on social media, having it out with the people?
You need to just stop. You can't be... Because the thing is, people are having legitimate problems with this game. That is a fact. But rarely does that matter on social media, because it's more about dunking on people and taking digs at them, and like there is genuine concern, but people are coming in with more negativity and more venom than they really need to, because it's social media. And of course, someone like Randy, I don't know Randy Pitchford, but if you have enough barbs and daggers thrown your way, you are eventually going to try and meet fire with fire, as he's done multiple times since the announcement of the price of Borderlands 4. And it's kind of like what people said. It's kind of a PR nightmare. That's not... Jousting on Twitter does not make your game perform better. It doesn't make anyone happier. It just causes more discord and makes me question your marketing strategy and your leadership ability.
Yeah, I think to give him the benefit of the doubt here, we've been on YouTube. We kind of, how it can get. People will leave terrible comments all the time. They'll say rude things about you, make judgments about your character, all these awful things. And it sucks. People will say the worst, and it feels
not fun at all.
And it feels unfair that they get to kind of sit back and just lob insults at you. They didn't put in the work and make this video. They didn't, you made a simple mistake, and they get to accuse it, and they call you awful and incompetent and all these things.
Yeah, they'll bring up your skin color.
That happens too. But the unfortunate reality is that still Randy Pitchford is, a public-facing CEO. You just can't engage with it. You have to be the bigger person, and
it should be easy.
And it's really
rich. Turn off Twitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say. The direct deposits are gonna hit either way. So
just turn it off.
Don't use...
Some of us lower to the ground, plebs. For some of us, social media is all we have. But I do expect more of the leader of Gearbox.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing is he doesn't have to be on Twitter, and it sounds like he does have a lot of animosity towards naysayers. I get it, I do, but it's just bad PR. I think that that company probably, they need to just be listen, you can't be on social media saying this as the CEO. It's just not.
It just breeds even more negativity. And so even if you thought you were defending your game, your company, and your people, you're actually making them even more reviled by this group of people.
And also on the internet, you can't win. You don't magically win these arguments.
There's no winning the internet.
If anything, when you fight back, you get a proportionate amount more backlash.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad that this happened to them, I guess. I don't know if I even feel bad. You knew that you released the game, so if it's affecting this many people on PC, then this must have been something that could have been caught by QA. I would assume.
I agree. I cannot deign to know the ways of corporate video games. I just know that games got more incorporated over time. And now it feels like games are coming out more unfinished, with less polish and less heart, but for more money than they ever have before.
It's not a great look. I hope they can fix up the game for the people who are enjoying it, and I hope that they honestly just revoke his social media. Like, as a company, he should not be posting as like Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox.
Go ahead and stop doing that. Get you a little
make a burner,
account.
Make a little burner account and fight for it there.
Then you can get in the trenches for real. Say what you really want to say.
You can say some terrible, nasty
use some
things.
slurs.
All right, our last story before we talk about the movie that we saw is AI related.
Yay!
Can't go a week without a little bit of AI controversy. New ChatGPT teen safety measures.
Pictures of Sam Altman.
Yeah, me too. New ChatGPT teen safety measures will include age prediction and verification, OpenAI says.
It can predict their ages, you say.
Yeah, that's something like YouTube is currently experimenting with too, you might remember. So yeah, ChatGPT's kind of been coming under a little bit of fire for talking to these teenagers and like saying the worst.
Helping them plan murder, suicide.
Yeah, it's led to a few things. In a blog post, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman described the struggles of balancing OpenAI's priorities of freedom and safety, saying, "We prioritize safety ahead of privacy and freedom for teens. This is a new and powerful technology, and we believe minors need significant protection." So they're working to build a system that would try to automatically sort users into one of two separate versions of ChatGPT. One for adolescents aged 13 to 17 and one for adults that are 18 and older.
What if you're 12?
I guess you're not supposed to be using it. I mean, I know who's going to stop you. But I'm wondering how they're going to dictate how old you are. Like, I guess it's based on the things you're asking it. Like, maybe it's like, oh, this sounds like this was typed by like a 14-year-old or something.
Like you hit a 3-syllable word, you gotta be somewhere in the upper teens.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's necessarily going to work, but I think he also goes on to say that the chatbot, quote, by default should not provide instructions about how to commit suicide, but if an adult user is asking for help writing a fictional story that depicts a suicide, the model should help with that request. So, if a person flagged by OpenAI's age estimating program expresses suicidal ideation, the company will, quote, attempt to contact the user's parent, and if unable, will contact the authorities in case of immediate harm.
How would they contact their parent?
No clue. I have no clue how they're going to contact your parent.
I've used ChatGPT, and I don't know if there's a... How do you... If their parent doesn't have a ChatGPT account...
I guess if you have entered your name, like first and last name, somewhere in there, then maybe there's like a directory that they will cross-reference it with based on like your IP address or something. And
it's gonna find every Phil Johnson in the planet.
Well, maybe every Phil Johnson within the area of the IP address. I don't fucking know. I'll give them this. It's a step. It's just that like really, when I read these quotes of his, where he says things like, the chatbot by default should not provide instructions. That's all they can ever say. It should not do
It probably
this.
shouldn't have to begin with, but it did anyway.
And even now, like they're going to make these fixes and kind of try to create these guardrails, but ultimately, like, they cannot give with 100% certainty, like a guarantee that it won't, because it's AI. And so like as a large learning model goes, you kind of give it the right string of commands and you can kind of like get it to start talking about whatever. People have found this out many times over. Anytime that like, Meta or ChatGPT will be like, yeah, like it's a non-NSFW chatbot or it's a non-whatever, it won't talk about these sensitive topics. And they eventually managed to get it to do so anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put very strong guardrails on these large language models if you don't want to talk about like suicide, and they are just scared to do that.
I mean, they're not, I guess, like, they're trying to start doing it because they're probably under like a bajillion lawsuits at this point. I don't know. But I do wonder, like, man, I don't know how I feel about this whole AI thing where like people are, because we had a story a few weeks back about like how people are using AI for therapy now, which I find a little bit troubling to hear. I did more research and I found out that there are people who use it because therapy is expensive. And
It is.
you know, there's a real cost associated with going to therapy. And so if you can talk to ChatGPT for free and it can be understanding and give you insights, then like in theory it might help you work through your problems or, you know, kind of whatever issues you're having. And that's great. But like that feels like that borders pretty closely on what might end up being suicidal thoughts. So like I'm just
where
not
do you
sure.
draw the line?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I don't envy his position.
No, that's a tough one. As not the biggest fan of these large language model AI things, I'm glad to see it struggle. Because I think only through struggle can we get it to a point where it's not completely abhorrent.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to suffer any more like tragic deaths of teenagers from that. I still will say, though,
if we want AI freedom, some things will have to be lost.
Apparently so. I still will say, though, that like this fundamentally still comes from the idea of people using like ChatGPT as a diary. So even if we're not talking about like, you know, the suicidal thoughts, I still just find myself like concerned at the idea that like a 13 or 14-year-old or younger, because I mean, you know, like is writing to ChatGPT like just as its dear digital diary type of thing. Like
it'd be fine if it didn't respond.
Yeah, the fact that it can respond and kind of give you feedback on that, it just, you know, I still think that you should probably be seeking some real counseling or like friends or confiding in your parents or something, like, because the large language model isn't alive and it can't be your friend, but it can certainly give you instructions on how to harm yourself.
Or other people.
That's pretty much all the stories. But I did want to talk about Demon Slayer.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Infinity Castle, the new anime movie. So, I guess first of all, apparently it has become the second highest grossing film in Japan. Right?
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I saw a headline, because I think we both have headlines on this. My headline says that it inches closer to surpassing the opening weekend haul of Marvel's biggest box office darling, Endgame, which it won't do that because I guess the weekend's already ended, but it's currently generated $353 million worldwide. So that's really cool. I think it also broke the record for the best opening weekend of an anime movie ever that previously was held by Pokemon the movie 2000, I think.
In my article, it has surpassed Spirited Away as the second highest grossing film of all time in Japan.
Yeah, and it's also currently the 13th highest grossing film of 2025, sitting between Sinners and The Conjuring Last Rites.
So it sounds like it did aight.
Yeah, suffice it to say, Demon Slayer was popular.
It did aight. You know.
We saw the movie last
for
weekend.
a mid anime.
Right. Demon Slayer's mid. That's right. It's mid. And we hate it. No, we saw the movie last weekend. What'd you think?
You want my honest opinion?
No, I want your dishonest opinion.
Okay, good.
No. What did you think?
No, I struggled to stay engaged.
Okay.
The movie was long, and at first I thought that was a good thing. So I was like, oh man, this is like the longest anime movie ever. That's fire. But then I saw how they filled that 2-hour romp through the Infinity Castle.
2 hours, 35 minutes.
2 hours, 35-minute romp through the Infinity Castle.
Yeah, long movie.
You got everything you'd normally get in a Demon Slayer season and arc. There was a lot of exposition. There were a lot of backstories told.
A lot of flashbacks.
When you're sitting in a seat for 2.5 hours,
yeah,
those like 30-minute long flashback sequences,
like Akaza's backstory or whatever.
Boy, they'll take you right out.
Yeah, so
I fell asleep like 3 or 4 times.
I will preface by saying we probably did not pick the best time to go. Yeah, we saw a 10 p.m. showing. 10 p.m. So like it was already kind of late.
And
but
I'd been at work, so I was probably tired. I'm sure that played a role. That wasn't a working day for me. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was late. I think that it basically was 8 anime episodes kind of crushed into a movie, like stitched into a movie. And so it made the pacing a little bit off. As for the content of it, I liked it. I thought it was great.
Content-wise, solid.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish I'd watched it week to week.
Yeah, I think I would probably prefer watching it week to week. Action was amazing. Animation was that typical Demon Slayer. This is UFO Table. They worked on Fate.
They go crazy.
They go crazy. The lighting is really cool. I think that it's a movie that lends itself well to kind of the big IMAX screen or whatever, because there's just so many of these sweeping views of the Infinity Castle.
Oh, except when Zenitsu is going over his tragic backstory with his senpai.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
There's no real camera angles
change much
telling these stories.
But yeah, when you got the cool wide shots of the battlefield and all that was really nice. So I think that the movie is deserving of the success. I mean, Demon Slayer is really cool, and I know it's captured a lot of mainstream interest in anime in general, just from being accessible and fun, and the character designs are good.
I just have a major criticism.
Okay.
That wasn't a movie.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like a movie.
Because, it's like you said, they stitched together seemingly 8 episodes of the anime, but that's not what a film is.
Yeah, it didn't get to, because of how that worked, just sort of basically being 3 fights, it did not get to follow the proper, story structure, that a movie, kind of story, like the movie arc. Yeah. It's just 3 fights.
And everything in between them.
Yeah, with kind of flashbacks and stuff put into them. And so I guess I didn't get the sense that there was a narrative through line. I guess there's the through line of all the demon, the demon hunters are in the Infinity Castle and trying to find Muzan. Yes, that's the general thing, but there was not, I guess, a journey from kind of beginning, middle to end. It's just more fight 1 with 2 different people, fight 2 with 2 different people, then slightly longer fight 3 with 2 different. So it's it just didn't.
In total, we're 1/3 of the way to our goal.
Yeah. So, and knowing that there's going to be 2 more, it's just a little bit. I think as an anime fan, that's fine. We're kind of used to watching things like that, but I could see how maybe somebody just expecting it to be a movie. It's not a movie.
It felt very different from Mugen Train, the last Demon Slayer movie. Mm-hmm. That felt like it was actually condensed and turned into a theatrical release. I felt I got the beginning of that story, I got the rising action, the climax, and the falling action and conclusion.
Yes.
That's a movie. This was a marathon of episodes. And that's fine. It's just maybe, I don't know, calling it a movie felt like a lie.
So I guess enough of our highbrow movie critiques. What did you actually like about the movie? Characters, moves, fighting, action, anything that kind of stood out to you? You have a favorite moment?
Demon Slayer is my answer, because I don't actually, I don't have specifics that I really like about Demon Slayer. I just like Demon Slayer. It looks good. It's flashy, very punchy sounds through the fight scenes. But is it weird to say I don't actually specifically like any specific characters? I kind of like all of them together in this one. You like the Demon Slayer collective? Yeah. The demons are more, now the demons, I like them a bit more than the protagonist.
Yeah, who'd you like? In this movie.
In this one, I don't know any of the demons' names.
Well, there's obviously Akaza. He's the sort of main one who got the big backstory.
And I would have liked him, but he started to tick me off with the "I'm just not gonna die" thing.
Yeah, Demon Slayer's good for that.
Yeah, they've done it before. He annoyed me.
This is, by the way, spoilers for this movie, but you should have known that, I guess, at this point. First fight with Shinobu versus the upper 2 demon. I don't remember his name, but he's upper 2. That was a really interesting fight. I sufficiently hated him.
He was infuriating.
He, talks down to her the whole time. He's very uppity and just
patronizing. He casually kills.
Casually murders, and I hate that she wasn't able to defeat him, but I do think that my hunch, and this, I haven't read the Demon Slayer manga, is that she maybe will have, at least her poison will take effect later, and that might be his downfall. That'd just be my guess.
Yeah, I kind of like that guy because I disliked him because of how evil he was, but I liked how cheerful he was. The demons that we've had so far in Demon Slayer, we never had one with such a throw it off, cheerful personality. We've had some that are mean, we've had some that are terrified, we've had some that are sad, and many of them are just kind of or angry. But like,
yeah, they tend to be more miserable.
This one was so. Like, he just enjoys every
being
bit of
awful.
it.
Yeah, he sees what he is doing as like a fun, like I am just putting humans out of their misery, and and everything's kind of amusing.
It's like it's frustrating the way he starts trying to empathize with people and their struggles as he
you tried really hard just now to attack me. So and that was really like that means something.
He pissed me off, but that really made me like him. I found that to be one of my favorite demons from Demon Slayer. I do have like a tier list of demons in Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he, because of his personality, shoots up to like number 2. The spider demon from like the first season, I really liked him. Just maybe it's because of the novelty of it all. Mm-hmm. Then he's kind of number 1. Number 3 is the demon with the ball.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one's name, but that they really use crazy camera angles.
Yeah, they have a lot of. I like how the creative fights that Demon Slayer has in
really like
general.
that demon. And the last one is kind of a combination. But what were their names?
The brother
Daki
sister
and
thing?
Gyutaro.
Yeah, was it the brother sister?
Names.
Where they had to like cut their heads off at the same time.
It was fun. I like them.
They were fun. I thought Zenitsu's fight was actually my least favorite of the movie, mostly because. It's not anything against Zenitsu. I was glad because he wasn't crying and
for once
stuff all the time. It's just that I felt that it was cool to see him take on like this upper 6 demon, but you pretty quickly find out that this guy only recently got like graduated to like upper 6, and he hadn't even mastered like all of his demon arts or whatever. And they make a point to say that.
A rug pull, kind of.
And they say that out loud. They're like, "Yeah, like I never fully mastered this." So it's like, how did Muzan make you this high ranked?
You're upper 6, like. Zenitsu
it's supposed to be like a pretty big deal.
Should have been making a name for himself, dropping an upper 6, and then everyone immediately kicks his legs out from underneath him. Oh no, that guy, he's like the weakest one. He's probably weaker than the upper 7.
Yeah, that was strange. I mean, the fight was cool. Like Zenitsu always gets like the really cool, flashy, like lightning animation. But
so I actually don't remember a lot of that fight because that was still in my period of kind of going in and out.
Oh, okay. I feel like it was for me the weakest fight of the movie, but like
I saw him win. That's what I know for a fact.
And then Tanjiro and Gyu fighting against Akaza was obviously that was supposed to be like the big highlight of the film. And fight amazing, but it was also the point in the movie where I was starting to be like, okay, this is. I've been in this seat for a while. Like
the start of the fight, cool with. The end of the fight was ticking me up. I'm like, just end this.
And Demon Slayer, like I said, like they have that trend of like, these demons just don't die. Like you cut off their head. That wasn't really my head. You cut off their head. Well, actually, you have to cut off me and my sister's head at the same time. It's like, okay, Christ. But with him, it's like Tanjiro did this whole power up sequence. Had to like look deep in himself, have a flashback, learn a new technique. Finally cuts the guy's head off, and then he's like, you know what? I just don't want to die yet.
Yeah, I don't know why no one else has thought about this, but what if when you get your head cut off, you just don't want to die?
You just dunk it back on and keep going. And that alone was within the realm of expectation, but then to have the 25-minute flashback.
They drew that mess.
This late into the movie, I think it's a shame because I think that the flashback was very well told. He's probably had, in my opinion, the best backstory kind of life flashing before their eyes of all the demons in the show so far.
But once you've been sitting in that seat.
Yeah, but when you're like 2 hours in this movie, you're kind of just ready to go. So, good fight, long flashback. I do buy, though, that just how much Tanjiro and Gyu had to struggle in the fight. I thought that was kind of like they both passed the fuck out.
There it is. I do remember there is one specific thing I liked about this movie, and it's not just a whole ensemble thing. Well, I guess it kind of is. I just really like the Demon Slayer style of comedy.
Yeah,
and I didn't think once they were inside the Infinity Castle, I just assumed they'll be okay. Fight. There'd be none of those comedic breaks that they force in that some people hate, but I love. And they still found a way to do the simplistic art styles, to like show like the airheadedness of Tomioka, the like and Tanjiro.
Yes.
I enjoy those comedic moments. I don't like it when old boy starts yelling. That's Zenitsu and the other
Zenitsu,
one.
yeah.
The boar-headed one. I forget that one's name.
Inosuke.
Yeah, Inosuke. I really don't like them. And anytime they play them for comedy, I don't like it. But Tanjiro's comedy, that's funny. And they kept that in. And so I was happy. Though, once again, I still think I would have rather just watch it week to week.
I mean, and you know they're going to do it because they did it with Mugen Train. They're just going to like break it up into episodes.
Well, this will be easy as hell because, it's all there. This will be the easiest video edit ever. I could edit this one.
Yeah.
Let me just snip this. Yeah.
So
insert intro.
So all in all, if you had to give it a rating, I know this is kind of hard because I don't even know that I can. Because like I have like 2 ratings for it. I have
it's not a movie, so you can't rate it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like as if I was watching this week to week, I think I probably would have given it like a 10 out of 10.
Right.
I think watching it in that godforsaken theater at 10 p.m., which I'll admit was
that's probably on us. It's probably on us.
But like it is still pretty long-winded. It gets something closer to like a 7 maybe for me, just because
we give 7s a lot on this platform. I think we go too easy on things.
What are you going with then?
I wanted to leave so badly by the end of it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5.
Ooh, okay, harsh.
I was in that seat too long.
Yeah, me too.
And
I really was
like
ready
it was
for
a theatrical.
To go.
Like I didn't. Oh, it was theatrical. I didn't feel like I was watching a film. It was kind of like a marathon of episodes. And I don't think I need to be in a movie theater for that.
Well, let's finish off with some pot, I suppose.
Yeah, just take the edge off.
So we have some viewer questions that were submitted with the response link down below. Like I've said before, we're going to kind of start like using both the YouTube community tab where you guys can post stuff, as well as I'm still just keeping up the viewer submissions thing.
I thought we were going to wean them off of that.
I'm trying to, but people still keep submitting them, and like
start taking the link off.
I guess I should just get rid of the link. Well, either way, there are some questions that were submitted with the link, so they're really good. So I'm going to answer them.
Let's go.
Okay, one's Yu-Gi-Oh related, one's not as much Yu-Gi-Oh related.
Okay.
So we'll start with Yu-Gi-Oh first. Hey, Paul and Alec. Oh, this is long, by the way. So, not long in a bad way, but it is long. Hey, Paul and Alec. I've been listening to the pod from day one. I really like the point you guys make about Yu-Gi-Oh. You guys are always trying to shed light on how hard it is for more casual people to get into Yu-Gi-Oh, which inspired my question. It's going to be a little bit difficult to answer, so I'll give a bit of background. I was scrolling Instagram, saw the post you made about Alec winning your locals World Championship tournament.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It made me really wish I had an OTS store around me to participate in an official Yu-Gi-Oh and play for prizing like that. That's where Yu-Gi-Oh, that's where my problem lies. Technically, my town in eastern Washington, Tri-Cities, has one OTS store, but they don't run any events for Yu-Gi-Oh and haven't done so for years. Of course, they still do for Magic and Pokemon. I went to the card shop with a friend to play in their scheduled Yu-Gi-Oh time, air quotes, but sadly, we were the only people who showed up. According to Yu-Gi-Oh Neuron, I would have to drive 3 to 4 hours to play at a locals in Spokane or Seattle. I don't live in a huge city, but it's not small either. However, for some reason, there's nowhere to play Yu-Gi-Oh officially. If I wanted to play at a YCS or something bigger, I'd have to fly somewhere. As far as I'm aware, the closest YCS to me is the one in Anaheim, California, which would be a 3-hour flight or a 17-hour drive. Here's my question. What do you guys think would help people like me who don't feasibly have access to official paper Yu-Gi-Oh TCG events? How can they still receive prizing? I play Master Duel frequently, but of course all you get from that is in-game prizing, and I'm reduced to only playing paper Yu-Gi-Oh with a few friends. Or here's maybe another question. How can Konami help players play paper Yu-Gi-Oh in an official capacity if they live in a place that doesn't really support the TCG? Anyway, thanks for reading my rant. Look forward to hearing about what you guys think.
So before I even get to answering the question, can a store even retain OTS status if they're not running tournaments?
Yeah, that kind of was a little suspicious to me too. Typically, to retain OTS status, stores have to submit like pictures and proof that they've been running tournaments.
Because they're receiving prizing, and if they're not running tournaments,
yeah, then that might mean are they like throwing the prizing up on eBay and like selling it for a profit? That might, that might be something worth looking into.
That might be why there's no Yu-Gi-Oh community. They don't want one.
Yeah, so that might be maybe worth looking into. But I do think that I can totally empathize with the whole like there's not really Yu-Gi-Oh in your town. It's just like you and your friend just show up to the shop and like no one's there. What can be done to help, Alec? Let's hear it. I've got some answers as well.
Oh, I'm glad you assumed I had an answer because I
got an answer for everything.
It's just not a great one because, like, well, you gotta create your own community. But I feel like by now you've already tried that. You have a group of friends that you play with. I mean, in my opinion, if you can get 4 people to the shop. That should be enough to fire a tournament. Is it a good tournament? But it is a tournament.
Actually, that was going to be my advice too, is just aim for 4. Just aim for 4, and here's what you do. Don't worry about the OTS part yet. Get the 4 people there, show up to that shop, and independently run a bracket. Because what will happen is you will be running it. And I say, I guess ask the card shop owner if it's okay if you do it, right? Like, don't just literally, you know what I mean? Like,
just bulldoze your way in.
Like,
we're running a
but
Yu-Gi-Oh
run
tournament.
that, and what's going to happen is people are going to notice and they're going to ask. Because, like, if you show up and you see, oh, there's no Yu-Gi-Oh players here and they're not having a tournament, I guess I kind of wasted my time. I'm going to turn around and go back home. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what you did, but, like, if that's what you do, because that people will do that sometimes, then there never will be Yu-Gi-Oh. You still need to, if
people have to see you playing.
Yeah, you got to show yourself playing. Like, if you and your friend are there, then sit down and play some friendlies. Just at whatever kind of open spaces that aren't being used by a tournament or whatever, and just play. And, like, people will notice, some people will ask, and here's what you're going to hear. You'll hear some people say, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I didn't know whatever. Like, I didn't know they're doing something here. Or someone's going to say something like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks. It went down the drain with all those hand traps and combos or whatever. But the key point...
Yu-Gi-Oh! Fell off when they introduced synchros.
Yeah, there's going to be that guy. But the key point is, they're seeing you playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're talking about it now. Because some of those people have actually played. In fact, most probably have played, or they have an opinion on it. And this gets back actually into that one like controversial thing that you always say, like people always kind of take out of context.
Yeah, that every card game, like every card gamer was or wanted to be a Yu-Gi-Oh player at one point.
Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how you do it. And you get people just passing by and they're interested. And then that's usually kind of where you approach the shop owner and say like, hey, if we could get 4 people, would it be okay if we fire a tournament? Like, you could even add in like, hey, we saw you guys were an OTS store. Do you ask, do you have OTS packs? Like, you're just looking.
And if they say they don't have them, we need to report that.
Yeah, if they say they don't have them,
if they're popping up on Neuron as an OTS store,
yeah,
they're getting prize support.
Yeah, maybe that's something to also investigate. But like, that's typically the key. Is it's sort of, and I again think of like one of the things that Alec often says. If you're going to a new card shop. And you buy packs or something.
That's mostly because of social anxiety. But, if people see Yu-Gi-Oh cards being pushed around, they will say something. And they'll probably say one of the things that you already mentioned.
Mm-hmm. So, don't give up just because the shop doesn't appear to have Yu-Gi-Oh. You gotta kind of sit down and you gotta sit down and play it.
Because nobody wants to drive 3 hours just to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, so I guarantee you, if you go to this locals again, just go with a friend, sit down and play. Some people will watch and they will see and they will have thoughts and you talk to them and that's how you form the community. It only takes 4. You just gotta have 4 to do the tournament and the rest can kind of begin to, the snowball can kind of form from there.
Didn't Oregon used to have like Yu-Gi-Oh events?
I remember when we went to Oregon to visit the professor, Portland, Oregon, at least. Anyway, I know that Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of struggling in Portland because some shops had maybe some drama with it.
They made it sound like they ran the Yu-Gi-Oh players out of Portland,
or the Yu-Gi-Oh players ran themselves out. I don't know too much about it though, but yeah. So give it a second try would basically be my advice, and see if it can maybe change. But you got to sit there and play. Right,
yeah,
that's the big key.
People need to see cards getting flipped.
Absolutely. Okay.
I say flipped, like we actually set cards in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean,
All spells and traps.
now you're playing Draco Tail. You set them from the deck.
It's not monsters. Never monsters.
Okay, so here's something fun. And these are actually two questions from the same person, but I feel they're pretty closely related. Paul and Alec, have you ever gotten into an anime or series through means that are not implicitly intended to bring in new audiences, such as by AMVs or video games, etc.? LOL, for example, I grew up down south like you two, and when I was a kid in the early 2000s, I'd seen images of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure advertised in the old Shonen Jump magazines I used to get at our local grocery store, but I paid it no mind at the time because it wasn't one of the bigger anime on TV like Naruto or DBZ. Later, when I was about to graduate high school, I looked at what was on sale on PSN and I bought a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game for $4 for the PS3. The characters and setting were so unique, I had to know what these ripped dudes were doing, posing like fashionistas and fighting with familiars. Would love to hear any experiences you guys in the past or recently, as well as anyone in the comments regarding this topic, have had to find out about series or franchises that we wouldn't have otherwise known about. Hope you have a great Wednesday/Thursday from Oscar. This is a very good question.
I gotta ponder this one.
I feel like I have one, probably not like offhand, but like I can certainly relate to like the experience of seeing the characters on like a magazine or on a book or on like a game case and like being like, what the hell is this? And then trying it out kind of in a like an unintended way. Oh, there's one that's on the top of my head, actually. I feel like the tip of my tongue, like, what is it? I guess I can't say I have found my way into an entire series from like a video game or an AMV, but I have tried out some video games that I didn't think like you.
Like, so I remember this game that I found in New York. It was Jump Ultimate Stars, which is a Japanese game. And I remember it worked just fine on my... Or did it work just fine? I forget how I played it. But I played this Jump Ultimate Stars game. I don't know if it was on DS or what. And it had a bunch of Jump characters that I'd never actually seen before. And when I say Jump, I mean like Shonen Jump. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to remember, but I remember just being introduced to so many new characters. Like, it had things that I knew. It had Yu-Gi-Oh in it. It had Shaman King. There was One Piece, like stuff I knew, and there was a lot of works I didn't. Like, what's a good example? Was that how I got introduced to Hunter x Hunter? Man, it's tough.
I know, it feels like it's been so long. Like, I mean, a lot of my interests, I inadvertently. I mean, I guess like that's how most interests go. But like,
Man in there? No, because that's the Ultimate Muscle when I was much.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I watched most of this stuff on like 4Kids and Foxbox. Just kind of that marketing worked on me in the normal intended way.
There has to be an example of this.
I know I got into some series kind of from like random games. Like, for instance, I played like Sonic Adventure 2 before I played. Like I got into Sonic with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on GameCube, even though it was like a remake of the Dreamcast game. And I played Adventure 2 before I played Adventure 1. So like I've had like weird sort of off order experiences like that.
I feel like when it comes to like anime, it's been fairly straightforward and traditional for me. Mm-hmm. Where the vast majority of my anime, I learn about it from its manga form, or I just see advertising for the anime. I can't think of, outside of playing that Jump game, I can't think of a time where I played a video game before watching the anime.
Yeah. Well, here's a second question. Hey, Paul and Alec. Oh.
Fafnir Dead Aggressor.
I don't know what that is.
So, I have no idea how I ended up with this book, but it was called Fafnir Dead Aggressor. And it was one of the few times where I'd somehow found like a novel before actually finding the anime. And I remember the novel caught my eye because, well, if you can look at the picture here, Paul, does that look at all familiar to you?
Yeah, that reminds me of Gundam.
Yeah, the characters look like they're from straight out of Gundam Seed, and so I had no idea what it is, but I picked it up, and then I learned that like, oh wait, there's like a whole thing, Sokyo no Fafner. I wasn't even familiar with the anime franchise, but after reading the book, I went back to watch Fafner, and then I regretted it.
Oh, you just didn't like it?
Didn't like it that much, no.
Well, here's this related question. Hey, Paul, it's from the same person. Hey, Paul and Alec, do you guys have any comfort trash TV shows that you watch, rewatch, or riff on when you're bored? For example, my wife and I have been watching the show Ghost Adventures. Neither of us believe in ghosts, but it's about a guy named Zach Baggins who has a frohawk, wears the tightest shirts he can find, and in one episode he blamed his lazy eye on a ghost attack even though he's been breathing in black mold for years since he's been going through 200-year-old abandoned buildings for the last 20 years. Also, do you guys believe in ghosts or have any paranormal experiences?
No on that last one. I can just give you the no right there. I don't do that.
That makes it sound like you do believe in them.
Nah, that paranormal shit, that's not for me.
See, when people say, whenever I meet people who say like, I don't do the paranormal shit, like I don't want to get possessed, that suggests that you do believe that something could happen, though.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
Well,
anyway,
believing in it, that's how it happened to you.
So you believe that
No,
it can happen?
I don't believe it. That's why it can't happen.
Well, anyway, to the main question, are there any trash like anime or shows that you just watch for fun?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like your good trash.
Oh, man, I consume so much garbage in my life. You might as well call me a raccoon. So I like to watch a lot of dramas.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite trash dramas are the Power franchise. That's 50 Cent's kind of urban soap opera style things. They're not good, but they're good trash. I like some reality TV. And now it's never put on of my own volition, but my mom and my aunts, they love reality TV. And I have absolutely no problem just sitting there and watching with them. I will not put up a very big fight. Just that simple garbage.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
okay.
I watch virtually every isekai that comes out, and it's not because I think they're good.
Yeah, I was going to start, because I have a few things. I was going to start with isekai. I do watch trash isekai from time to time, and like I really do find isekai as a genre is very tired, very repetitive, usually gets extremely pissy, low production values, barely any animation.
Just slide, it's like PNGs sliding
PNGs
on a screen.
and slideshows, no combat, whatever. They all take place in the same little gated castle town and all that stuff. But they can be fun to just like watch when you just choose to not take them very seriously.
I can turn my brain off sometimes.
Yeah. Another recent one that we've been watching, fucking Togen Anki.
Wow.
It's trash. I find that anime is the
only time I've heard you take a hard stance on anime on this platform.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I like it. Like it's really very like no offense to people who like genuinely like it. I'm sure the manga is better, whatever.
Nah, y'all get them.
I'm just talking about I'm talking about like the 10 or so episodes that I've watched so far. It is an awkward show with awkward humor. It's very like edgy and over the top, but like it's just
you're 10 episodes in.
Good old I'm 10 episodes in and it's good garbage. Same with like on Netflix recently I watched Bet.
Oh, Bet,
that little Kakaguri based show with like Gen Z people. It's really bad. It's not a good Kakaguri adaptation. It kind of makes me cringe to watch it, and yet somehow I finished it. Like it's something about the garbage kept me in.
Yeah, I usually say that I'll tell people that I have like great taste in like anime and TV shows and stuff, and I do. It's just that I have good taste when it comes to recommending things for others to consume, but I will consume whatever is at the top of the garbage
bin.
It does not take much.
Yeah, I think for me I also have a bit of a soft spot for like just generic ass like putting people in a basic conflict. I will watch that sort of content. Like I was watching some show, people will know what this is. It's like it was on like maybe HBO or Amazon or something, where like just they sent these families and they had to like live as homesteaders.
Wow.
Or whatever. And they had to like give up all their electronics. And so you see these 3 different families that like have these rich or at least like upper class sort of lives, and they have to like give up all their electronics and their jewelry and makeup for some reason. Like the moms had to even get rid of that. and they had to like go and like homestead as if it was, you know, they're out in the West, and like I'm not saying the show is garbage. I don't really know. I watched a few episodes of it. I was like, I was kind of into it. Just these little shows where like people are just faced with like a basic challenge, and it's this drama. Like in one episode, like the woman's like crying, like I'm not gonna be able to make it through this. Like I can't handle like life without my, you know, hair blower dryer or whatever. Like it just, I don't mind those sorts of things. You don't need a hair dryer if you
just cut off all your hair.
Yeah, so all that like just junk trash, I don't mind watching.
Yeah, I have a lot of junk in my life. I remember during the pandemic, I was especially bad for it because we were all stuck inside, and I had a double monitor going. So I would sit down to edit videos, and I'd pull up whatever to like just kind of drown out the impending doom of COVID. And I remember at one point I had cleaned straight through all the seasons of that sports drama, All American.
Yeah,
the show isn't like very good, but it was a narrative that I could listen to while I was either editing videos or playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I mean, and like I think everybody needs a little bit of like just some trash.
It's like, what? His father wasn't really his father. Oh no. What? They were twins all along.
You know, I do think, and like I'll end it here because this podcast has gone long. I do think that there is like an sort of a fixation on like being like I only watch masterpieces, like right. You know, like where we have to all be so defensive about like I'm afraid to share my personal private like tastes and shows and stuff. Like if you're not watching or you're not playing games that are like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, or like not watching the best movies and listening to the biggest album or whatever, it's like it's literally okay to have a 5 out of 10 that you like.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have pretty good music taste, but sometimes I just turn on some NBA YoungBoy and I just vibe.
So yeah, I mean, like
violently.
Vibe violently.
That's the only way to do it.
Okay. I'm going to go to the next YoungBoy concert.
I don't want to
put that to the test.
I don't want to die.
So that's pretty much it for the pod this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. A longer episode this time around.
Was it? How long was this one?
I mean, we took a little short break.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
we're over the 2-hour mark.
We went the distance.
Thanks for tuning in, though, and we're glad to have you.
We appreciate you.
If we can, maybe we'll get you a bonus episode. But yeah, we appreciate all your support. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Pass turn.